Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. Just checking May non-farm payrolls. All eyes on employment data out this morning. Expected 650,000. Comes out a little less than that, 559,000 for May on the non-farm payrolls number. That's a significant increase, if you remember, over the 266,000 posted back in April. So still higher, but not quite where they were expecting it to be. The number, of course, a key metric in Fed policy and going forward as far as when the Fed may start to taper some of this bond buying that they've been doing over the past couple of years. So we'll keep an eye on the market here as we continue along. But as far as individual names to look at this morning, a number of these squeeze stocks to the downside today. AMC seems to be leading. They're talking about potentially selling 25 million more shares after another share offering yesterday, 11.5 million, if you remember. So to the downside, almost 10% here. For AMC, we're watching BlackBerry as well. Facebook shares on watch as well, the EU and UK, starting another antitrust probe into Facebook. It's Friday, June 4th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go, back to, or trying to get back into positive territory here for all three U.S. markets. You can see about 0.26 looks like for the S&P at this point, but a nice spike there off of that data that we were talking about. Yeah, both Bitcoin and Ethereum in negative territory. If you scroll down to the bottom of that list there, after an Elon Musk tweet, again, we'll talk about Elon, well, it's not crash, but a decent move for Bitcoin back to the downside. Yeah, the market seems to like this number, guys. 559,000 again, if you missed it, versus 650,000 expected. So as we saw last month with this number, if you remember, it was almost a million expected, came out about 225,000. So this one, again, you know, it is higher, obviously month over month, but not quite where expected.
Right.
I mean, you can't have the numbers be too good, obviously. Man, you can't, don't throw words around like crash. I don't want to hear crash on a Friday. Look, talking about crypto there, and Elon Musk at it again. Welcome back. It's been an active week. Obviously, you guys have been seeing the meme stocks, and there's been so much focus. Both of us making like 100 trades on separate trades on AMC yesterday. And obviously, there's a heck of a lot else going on in the markets today. You can see the automakers are going to be in play for sure. Some of the reopened names have been incredibly impressive, despite the fact that everyone's been focusing on some of the squeeze plays here, which are still going to be around, and we're still going to trade them and still going to cover them. So don't worry about it one little bit. But we want to end the week off well here today, and it's all about preparing for what is actually going to move today, right? You don't want to force anything. You want to make sure you're getting the stocks that actually move and give you those opportunities. That's what we're here to do, Sean.
Yeah, and I always apologize every time we go short on AMC, but
don't.
Yeah, people say don't do that, so we won't do that anymore. But yeah, no, look, we're excited for things today. I still think fundamentals, I mean, on AMC don't justify stock price, but hey, we don't play at all fundamentals here. We play momentum in the way it's moving, so it's nice to see some comments there today, again, from CEO, and we'll find out if they get this 25 million shares out there. And yesterday's 11 million was gobbled up, so I don't know, man. I mean, it's going to continue to go higher. We're looking for shorts. We're looking for longs. We're looking for opportunity. And our broker, again, probably one of the best, probably if not the best, seems to be cheap. We're able to borrow more shares on the short side, so I hope you guys are as well. And let's get ready for a big day. It's Friday, guys.
Yeah, going to be an exciting one once again as we head towards the weekend here at the end of the week. We'll have a look at BlackBerry also. Trading in negative territory. A lot of the EV makers, the smaller EV makers in negative territory. Remember, Workhorse, Nikolai, speak of, all made nice moves yesterday. Even Lordstown had a nice move right out of the gate yesterday. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss B.
Hi guys, happy Friday everyone. I wish you to finish this trading week in a positive territory, have fun, and please like this video right now so you don't forget. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We have lots to get through as we head through the next hour before the market opens. Want to start things off with a look at crypto markets. We've been so preoccupied throughout this entire week. We've kind of gotten away from some of the Bitcoin stocks, most of them in negative territory or Bitcoin-related stocks. Yeah, Bitcoin from 39,000, we're just breaking 36 currently to the downside here. Elon Musk tweeting a split couple meme, and this causes a $3,000 move, I guess, in Bitcoin. Is that what we're believing?
I don't know. I was like sitting there on the couch, I think watching not the Mavericks game, that wasn't yesterday, Denver, and congratulations to the Nuggets. But the thing is, though, man, Dame Lillard, like, can there be any worse luck for a player? Like, that guy's so super clutch, but can't get out of the first round. And bye-bye, Braun. 14-1 now, unbelievable run for LeBron. But you know, all good things must come to an end for that one. They'll be back. Street clothes needs to play. Okay, let's go over here to BTC. Yeah, so here it is right here. I didn't think it was that big of a deal when that did happen, but yeah, it's 10% down. And, you know, 10% seems like a big move. You know, he also tweeted out some things about Dogecoin. He tweeted out some other things after that last tweet that you just mentioned there, Brendo. Yeah, it's a nice move down. But the thing is, to take this into consideration, you sort of still have to look at a daily chart. I feel like if we're going to be really looking at Bitcoin, obviously we're down, you know, 40%, 35% from its all-time high at 65. But this is really what I want people to look at here. I mean, Neil will agree, I'm sure, but you know, I don't think we're really in trouble until we break 30. And because the problem with that is that when we break 30, then don't hold. Like, we've held a couple times there. But if we break 30 and don't hold, we probably go to 20. And that's, to me, that's the scary thing. It's not, I'm holding forever, but for me, which is probably going to be a problem. I did it the first time and it was a big problem. So right now, anyways, long story short, I think you got to hold 30. You're in this little bit of a, you know, consolidation here. It wants to break out, but right now, you know, there's a lot of money coming into different names. We've seen AMC running. I mean, a lot of the traders that are part of, you know, this sort of gang mentality also are Bitcoin holders, right? And not to say that they're going to drive the price of Bitcoin up, but as social media goes, so do a lot of these cryptocurrencies. So let's just wait to see. I think the market needs to cool down a bit, and that's what Bitcoin's doing right now. It's in a cool down period. It'll start to go again. I mean, I think we see 60,000 again at some point this year. So let's just wait and see. But yeah, not a good day for Bitcoin holders.
And it's a tough one because if you ask yourself, like, could we see like 20s, you know, the mid 20s before you see that 60? It's not a crazy idea. If that 30 goes, I think there's a big floor. Not that big of a floor until you get to that mark. And I do agree with you from the momentum side. I think more the concern might lie in some of the stocks like your. I mean, I was looking at Silvergate just because, you know, I happen to want to see how it does hold up, and it happens to be flat right now. But if you were to get a move like you just mentioned there into that 20, I'd be a little bit more concerned with your Riots and your Maras because, as you said, probably a lot of people are in that same camp where they just hold, and they're going to hold their actual physical Bitcoin. And the equities are a little bit of a different story. I think that would give you a really large outsized move if we broke that 30. And people might expect, oh yeah, whatever, it'll hold some support at like 18 or back here at like this 15, 16. I actually don't think that would be the case with something like Amara. You can throw up a chart of Riot as well. If 30 broke, I mean, that's fine. I'd hold crypto, but I'd probably be selling some. I'd be concerned about CoinDesk and Silvergate more so than I would be about the bounce in Bitcoin, because I think it could get a little bit overdone rather quickly. So you might want to have that in the back of your mind here, guys. It's obviously not a crash, but you got to prepare for the future. And right now, every single kind of potential negative headline does cause a move down. Eventually, you'll get one that makes a break towards that 30.
All right, so it's a holiday shortened week. It's now Friday, and we're now talking about the third share offering or potential third share offering from AMC. The CEO, I can show you the headline here, the CEO on an interview after market yesterday saying they want to ask shareholders to approve another $25 million. Stock is up, it's amazing, 2,300% this year. So they're going to try and get this extra 25 million out there. Let's just get it out of the way here, guys. Another offering, but it's worth mentioning, I think, here, you know, the actual stock this morning is relatively quiet after, you know, a crazy, crazy week.
Yeah, look, that's actually a pretty, you know, that's an important point. I think, you know, I'm looking at it today, and apologies, just cleaning up my chart then. I got to get rid of this wick here down to $13. If anyone actually got that, that'd be pretty hilarious. Look, if you think about this from just a pure, I mean, like a regular standpoint of a stock goes from like $12 in a normal time frame to like 72, and then comes right back and holds a consolidation like this. I mean, if this was like a penny stock, you'd be saying to yourself, well, a lot of times those gains come all the way back in. Look, the offering got gobbled up yesterday, and then on that news, you actually saw that push up in the afternoon and try to make that fresh high. You're going to come back in here. There was a warning that came through as well, saying, be careful. You can lose everything when you invest in the stock. Blah 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 blah. I mean, that's going to be AMC covering their bases. Of course, it's going to be a smart thing for them to do when they're going to do these offerings. And hey, they got to increase their cash position. So those of you that are sort of believing in it here, understand the difference between like price action and what you think is in the long term, right? Like yesterday, my entire plan of action was to, and it's not that I was hoping for a dip. But actually, it wasn't even yesterday. It was all week long. I was saying to myself, I remember when GameStop had that one pullback and it halted like several times off the open, and there was a turn at 100. And all I was waiting for was that give me a couple of halts to the downside, because that's going to be the reversal long that I want. And I like it better than if we'd actually gotten that 62.50 break, and if that broke the upside. I know people are happier to see 62.50 go to 75. From a day trading standpoint, I mean, that was just a much better move from a risk standpoint, because you can really get a larger position. In my estimation, it's safer to have a larger size position on a reversal halt there, because it's unlikely to open below this halt down price at 43.40. So you kind of know what your downside risk is in sort of my experience, and you can also throw a stop just in case it doesn't halt on you there. And then usually you're going to give it a move at least back into first resistance, and there's always a good push to the upside, right? So that's what I'm going to be looking for. It's in terms of being a day trader, other breakdown trades at 45, that kind of thing. Sure, if you're sitting there holding long, short-term day traders or really short-term traders that are getting in and out and sometimes pushing large shares around, when they're shorting it, that usually helps the break. If it's going to go, it's going to go. And it's going to chew through traders like that anyways, and it's probably helping it move up when you have people like that shorting. So trust me, you actually don't want to get mad at something like that. That's just my opinion there. Obviously, there's going to be some levels we're going to go over in a bit here, and we cannot forget about the other meme stocks. BlackBerry somehow seems to be holding up a little bit better. I'm going to be watching that one as well today.
Yeah, BlackBerry. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, this is just going to be a joke here, because when I just said Bitcoin's eventually going to go to 60,000, basically, as soon as we ended that segment, Bitcoin just ripped up to 36.6. So, hey, man, we got more power than we thought we do in the crypto market. And, of course, that's a joke, because I don't think any of us are moving that thing that high. Look, AMC yesterday, 99 or 100 trades right on the nose yesterday, trading like a maniac. And just for all you ape gangs out there, only purples are shorts, guys. Everything else are long. So we were shorting it early, and we have to short it into those spikes yesterday, 63, 64 all day. And then I don't even think that, I don't even know if that is really, oh yeah, that's a short through 50 break. So we'll continue to do that. Then we were long into the close. I like a 45 level. Let's try to watch that. We did get that flush down yesterday, like we were just talking about there, off a couple of halts. We dipped down to 38, then it just gets bought right back up, and then you have an explosion here once those 11 million shares are done, and you get back to the upside of $68, $70. The thing about it is, I'm not going to talk about too many levels. Neil just mentioned most of them and some of the rhetoric about the stock, but the one thing that I didn't hear was options. Today's options expiry, right? So it's Friday. So you're going to get, I see on the chat, people talking about that. And the one thing is, if you're going to notice, 50 right here, we were watching it on the show, and I was showing you, it wasn't breaking. I actually have a bunch of like false breakouts here at 50 yesterday. So you got to watch out. And then here's 50 again right here. Here's 50 holding. So there's going to be a lot of traders today that have options expiring at the $50 level. I mean, that made sense, whether or not you bought them, a couple days ago when we were at 60 or 70 or whatever. But people are going to have to execute. There's going to be a lot of volume going off today at these key levels. So I'm looking at 50, I'm looking at 55, I'm looking at 60, things like that. So I like breaks, upside, downside, all around sides, but we have to be very, very careful, because I'm not sure you're going to get the major moves that we've been getting. I mean, yesterday we traveled $30, right? Here's a 38 bottom, and there's a $69, $70 top. I don't think there's this much volatility in it, and it's not rocket science to say that, because it's giving us these ranges here in the morning. So I'm going to play a 50 break long. So we're going to go long on AMC. Here we go. Shout out to Rob again. I mean, if you like that animation, put a hell yeah in the chat there, Brendan. That's a big one. We like that. Thank you to Rob for that. And we're going to go ape gang, hopefully, through $50 here on AMC. And it may happen soon.
All right, Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, joining us this morning. Back on the show. It's been a busy week for everyone, including Mark. Welcome back, Mark. Good to see you. On this Friday, I mean, let's talk macro here. Obviously, the number out just at 8:30 there, better than expected, but still not, where everyone was thinking it was going to be. But we are seeing a little bit of a positive response here to the market. I mean, overall, the market though is still stuck in a range.
Yeah, it's completely stuck in the range. The excess that was in the market over the last few weeks, mostly in the high beta tech type names, has been coming off quite aggressively. That's good as far as consolidation of the market averages. But the problem is we're still at a slightly lofty area. So I take off some tech on rallies, and I buy some cyclicals on dips.
And when it comes to these numbers, these more macro-focused numbers, what's it going to take to maybe push the entire market into new territory, either direction? I mean, we were talking a month or so ago about the possibility of a further pullback for the market. It seems like every single dip these days gets bought up.
I think fiscal planning out of the administration working across the aisle will be a real big benefit. I don't know if that happens. I think the conversation of tapering in the bond market begins sometime in July, but probably doesn't get enacted until early next year. So for the bulls, that's quite advantageous. For the bears, they have to pick their technical spots to take some risk.
Let's talk about some tech stocks here. The G7 meeting getting underway. I believe it's today, actually, and throughout the weekend over in the UK. Possibility of further taxes coming from this meeting for the tech sector, really, those big tech names. What does this mean overall, and should we expect some sort of reaction to this if it does come out or anything comes out today?
I would say the initial reaction will be a knee-jerk reaction. I wouldn't take much conversation on that other than perhaps a global tax versus just a tax on tech.
And does that mean going forward that we see further countries or further implementation of similar taxes?
I would say so. But like every corporation and every legal counsel, they'll figure out a way of dealing with loopholes in some form or another. They've been doing it for 100 years.
So it's Friday of a holiday-shortened week here, Mark. We were talking at I guess it was last week, about summer volumes coming in, slower trading, a little bit less volatility. A lot of people taking holidays this week after the Memorial Day holiday weekend. What are you looking for today and then going into the rest of June? Are we officially, it's safe to say, into summer trading?
I would say definitely so, except for the AMCs, the GMEs, the Bed Bath & Beyonds, the KOSS. Those names will stay active for the next few weeks. But on balance, everything else will start to see more summer trading. And that's not a bad thing after what we've been through.
You brought it up, so let's talk about them. The squeeze stocks, we'll call them, continuing to move here in the pre-market this morning. I mean, we were just talking about, it's a holiday shortened week, and here it is Friday, and we're talking about the third possible offering from AMC. I mean, take us through your thoughts here. Is there any sort of value as far as an investor is concerned in any of these?
AMC is an unusual name because management's doing exactly what they should be doing on every lofty run, issue stock, a brilliant plan. I think there'll be consolidation in that industry. There's a lot of hurting movie theater chains. So I would say over time, the winner is the stock holders. The loser is the consumer, because movie tickets will go higher.
And free popcorn from AMC as well if you are a shareholder. So there's extra value. Let's get your list for today, or give us a few on your list for today. What are you looking at?
Lululemon, LULU, AVGO, Broadcom, looking at General Motors again, Ford, and that's pretty much the list for the moment.
It's supposed to be, Mark, with the humidity here over the weekend, I believe 40 degrees Celsius by Sunday. So it's going to be a warm one. I hope you enjoy yours, and we'll speak to you again on Monday.
Excellent. Take care.
Great stuff. Let's have a look at what's moving around, guys, in the pre-market here. We'll jump into a number of these names because it's going to be our focus today, regardless of what is happening elsewhere, unless something earth-shattering happens. But let's talk about some of these names. Again, we saw BlackBerry in negative territory early on. AMC obviously going to be the leader here, as we saw yesterday. If this move continues in negative territory, let's come up with a plan on how we approach it.
Yeah, and look, obviously, I know everyone looks at AMC, but you have a wealth of names here, and there's great opportunities on Bed Bath & Beyond. And I basically ignored BlackBerry yesterday because of all the executions in AMC. I had one long, took it out immediately, and when that dip happened, I was looking at AMC. So I come in here and see this 16 area. It's going to be sort of obvious here at pre-market at 16 a couple of times. The way I kind of want to look at it here is if you get that, and we'll talk about these two almost in the same way here. If AMC is going to break a 50, that's likely to take you through a 16 level on something like a BlackBerry. And then if you get into this like 1650 double top from the afternoon, a failure in that price range might give you a bit of a look, because there'll be some longs that kick in at 16 even that will probably, sort of thinking about their exit plan at the first level of potential resistance doesn't pass through. So you want to make sure that you're not getting like one of those upsides, halts to the upside on AMC and the others are all running here. But if there's any slowdown, you can catch a turn off of the 1650. That's what I'll be watching. So I'm almost looking like a fail break at 16 even. I think if you're taking the breakout, it's probably going to be a little bit better to do so in AMC than BlackBerry in particular. Maybe even have a quick look at Workhorse, which has come down a little bit more as well, so there's probably more room to come back in. Sometimes for these types of plays, the deeper it pulled back makes the breakout long a little bit better. I mean, I'm sure that makes sense to some of you guys. It can seem counterintuitive at times, but that's why I wouldn't necessarily lean into the break in BlackBerry.
Guys, look at BTC now. We're at the 37 and change right now, so 37.1. Okay. I'm going to start talking up some coins a little bit more, and then we'll see if we get a go. I like Workhorse. Neil just talked about Workhorse there. It's on my list here. The sticky note is pretty short and sweet today. We already posted that up here on Twitter, so you can find that. The sticky note, Valerio will put that link up for you guys soon. We're on our march to 20,000 right now for the followers. So there it is. Ooh, already 68 likes. We talked about it today. We like Ford. That's been a hot one for us for the last little while. So we'll post that up on Twitter and we'll get that to you. But look at Workhorse right now, guys. I mean, this 1350 level. We traded it. I mean, just so you guys know, like we trade. There you go. Neil, I did your little secret there. And yeah, so right now we did take a Workhorse long yesterday in the close. You can see some of our charts there. But okay, 1350 bottom. So this is what I'm looking at. Workhorse has just had a monster run up. We know that. And whether or not you believe in this name, in Fisker, in CCIV, Ride, like they're all the same. Lordstown, Ride. Even Tesla's been getting hit. That's for other reasons right now. But you're going to wait to see here. 1350 break. I think there's been a lot of consolidation between 1250 and 1350 right here in the pre-market yesterday. It didn't really know what it wanted to do. And then it said, oh, wait a second, we want to go higher. Ripped up to 18 right off the open. Like, what a crazy move that was. And then you just see it basically, downside all afternoon. And then we sort of, huddled around this level. So $14, $15 yesterday. And now today we come in and it's down that 5%. So this is a 20-minute chart. It will just go to the 1 minute now. Here's 1350 at the bottom, guys. This is going to be a short for me. I'm getting ready to get locked and loaded. It's not hard to borrow or anything today. So we're going to wait to see on Workhorse. But that's, if there was one name I still do like. I mean, on my list is AMC, Workhorse, BlackBerry, Ford, and NIO. So they're all on there. I like all of those trades. I like that Mark liked Ford. But how good has Ford been, guys? I mean, Ford has just been on an absolute tear. Break 1650, like 1650 on that earnings. I couldn't believe we went down to 11 and change. So it's really nice to see that. That was my last buy, 1130. So hopefully Ford's all good. And let's just check in on quickly. NVIDIA is not, wow. I mean, we bought this one and tweeted this one out at 604 as well last little while. This is not a meme stock, but it's acting like one, guys. Like straight upside, $550 to $700 right now. So we'll see a 700 break today. If that does happen, man, we got to be all over that. This is going to be all-time highs here for NVIDIA, I believe, anyways. Oh, no. Yeah, basically, yes, right now. This is a 1-minute chart. This is a daily chart. So you're seeing it break out, guys. Let's watch NVIDIA today. I think there could be a big move in this one.
All right, a lot of automakers to talk about on this board today as well. We have both GM and Ford on here to the upside today. JP Morgan liking both of these and increasing the price target $18 on Ford. Dick's Sporting Goods, DocuSign on here. They reported Lululemon, that side of the board today after their report. We'll talk about that. Yeah, there's Workhorse, guys. Downgraded today by Cohen. Price target decreased 5% here in the pre-market.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Workhorse, by the way, guys, the top there, this like 1435, it is worth noting in the pre-market when there was that seller that got broken, we were talking about this one, there was someone selling in exactly that range, and then we actually had a long trade that we're going to be holding, and then we also took a scalp trade because of that size, so we scalp out a bunch here, and then we get the outsized move. This is basically the same price that's getting held at that top, 25 to 35 area, so it is pretty significant. It gives you cover for any short. I would certainly say it gets above there. That's probably a little bit more attractive from a momentum standpoint than the 16 break would be in BlackBerry. And then we're going to talk a little bit about some DocuSign and Lululemon because, you know, obviously we're going to get to some earnings as well, guys. It's not just about the meme stocks today, even though I know sometimes it's going to seem like it. There were a couple of other ones in there that I think, you know, some of you guys might be concerned with. You know, like your Clovers and your Blink and EXPR, and we'll probably have a quick look at them. My advice, and we said this yesterday, I'll double down on it. We've said it all week. Just have 2 or 3. I mean, you can't. I don't think you can trade 4, 5, 6 of these meme stocks at once. For me, I'm looking at Workhorse, you know, BlackBerry, and AMC are going to be the 3 that I'm going to be concentrating on. That's got to be the key for me here, guys. And it's just, it's not about one necessarily better than the other. It's a comfort level thing. It's knowing the levels. If you're going to be active, and I had like half a dozen trades separately with more fills than that on Workhorse, and probably at least like 20 trades individually and 100 fills on AMC. You're not doing that if you're also trading costs and BlackBerry and GameStop. You can't do it. You have to pick your spots there, guys. So that's why I'm going to be involved in those. I do have this ADMP. It was a mover from yesterday. Just going to quickly, before we go deeper in anything, go over the position that I am in. I'm an idiot, so when I went to the bathroom and put a stop in, this little wick here got me out for flat. I got right back into the same position, so I'm shorting at 105 in front of this 110, 115 area. And it's had a big move up. You got to watch out if 115 goes. I mean, I'm not holding through that price, obviously. I wouldn't suggest anyone does. I want to scalp a bunch out to this 95 area. If it breaks that, I think we're going to get a move down to like an 85. But just got to be cautious with this. It had a big monster move to 150, but the gap down showing some price rejection there and looking to see if it can hold that lower high.
I'll add one more here, guys, when it comes to upgrades and downgrades for the morning. I mean, these aren't typically a good day trade unless it's around earnings or some sort of news. But I just saw this, both FedEx and UPS slightly higher here. Raymond James raising price targets and upgrading the stock, FedEx 0.5. But more importantly, there's big time levels over here on the daily chart. 305 area has held a couple of times for FedEx, UPS, another one looking pretty strong here in the morning.
Yeah, I was just reading some of the chat here, and I mean, obviously this is going to be a decision that we're going to have to make, and some people, requesting like their own private chat, guys. So let me know if that's something that you guys want to do. It requires a lot, there's a lot of work in developing stuff like that. So, we'll see what we could do. But hey, we love the community, guys, and we're going to have new members joining us as the show grows and things like that. So thank you for putting up with everything. And look, we welcome new members. Let's just keep it clean. Keep it safe. It's just, we're a fun family here. We're not going to make fun of each other or do any things like that. But, we're here to learn. We're here to educate, and we're here to trade and hopefully make a little bit of money when we do that and also have a good time. Oh, and on that note, I want to introduce something. My wife gave this to me. I think we talked about it. I might have had this on the show before. This looks better than me. But this is a 1992 official from when they won the World Series, a troll. like basically in perfect condition. It has, except for it looks like someone ripped the price tag off on the back, which is going to hurt it. But there's all the games for our 92 ALCS and our World Championships. So here we go. Like this is an old troll doll here. So I brought that here for some good luck. We'll see what happens with I mean, you know what? I probably shouldn't have brought it. I mean, the luck we've been having. This may bring me negative luck, but there it is. We'll put the troll doll over here on one of our side cameras. There it is, to go with the NFT art over there, soon to be NFT art. But on that note, I don't even know what we were talking about. So Brendan, what did you? I think we're just talking about different names. But I got sidetracked with the chat there. What was that, Neil?
Oh, there was some FedEx, but
that's what it was. UPS.
One thing we should also say, this is important, guys. Look, the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of like fake Twitter accounts, and we've addressed that. And thank you guys in the community for pointing them out to us, and that does help. We're never soliciting anything, and we're never going to DM you guys asking to sell something or making a crypto recommendation, that kind of nonsense. We'll never do that. As well, like the main channel, you make sure you're not falling for any of the spam nonsense that goes on there. As things grow bigger, that's going to be a big part of it. And you guys are a part of helping to police that in the community. So if you see that spam on there, shout them out, block them. Like, it is what it is, guys. We have to do this as a community all together. You did mention FedEx there, Brennan. And I just want to point out, I mean, it's not a stock that necessarily moves a little bit, but in the midst of a potential break at this 308 level, it's just on my 15-minute chart, you can see some support previously, holding a couple sessions down at that 308, trying to make a break. Volume non-existent though, so like this is the kind of thing you'd look for, maybe if you can hold that level in like that morning rush, that first 10-15 minutes. Otherwise, probably a no-go. It's a great company, a great looking chart on the daily, but not necessarily something I'd have off the open.
All right, let's talk technicals. We'll bring Arun in here and check out the futures. We are still holding near the high end of the range after the number here, Arun. Positive number. We're trying to get back above this 4,200 level once again.
Well, I mean, positive, negative. Negative is positive. The number itself was, 559 versus 650 or so. So that comes in under, but that's a positive thing for the market because of what that implies or what you can project based on what the Fed would do. Based on that number. So that's where negative is bad, negative is good in this climate. So here we are going up. In terms of technicals, we kind of broke this 4205 level I was looking at since yesterday. We are above, so I decided to go long. I am on the long side of it, but the issue is I'm starting to notice some selling. Some hidden selling here, which makes me concerned going into the open. So I'm going to keep a very close eye on it and see if this actually amps up a little bit more. If it does, I'm going to dump this position and walk away. But for that stop on that long, I am long around that 4205 area or so. On the long, I'm looking just underneath 95. Again, it's a soft level, meaning I'm looking for it to get underneath. I want to trade it, see how much trading is underneath. If it looks still negative, then I'll go ahead and get out. There's no hard stops on this position here. Below that, I've got 4155. Again, that was available since yesterday, or it's been available for a while, but that was in play yesterday. Able to catch a long in the mid 70s yesterday using that level all the way back up to the 4200. So you still have the 4155 that we've been working with was there from yesterday, and we still have that 4230, which was the not all-time high, but the most recent high that was put in earlier this week. So you have 4230, you have 4155. And you also have that sub 95 area, depending on how it trades. Again, that's a little conditional, but for now, it does look like it's positive, but I do want to stress there is some selling here. Keep an eye on it. If we do have to clear this 4215 area to kind of get a real chance to get going. If we do, then you're most likely going to see the 4230. If not, this might just come right back down into the mid 90s again, and we kind of just go sideways. So again, keep an eye on the open. If you see the selling coming in, you may have a problem with this thing going. But if you see the buying coming in, get past 15, we are going to be going up.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. Enjoy the weekend. We'll speak to you again on Monday. Let's jump into maybe a couple more of these stocks that we've been dealing with over the past couple of days here. I just saw this Nikola, guys, up 2.3%. Again this morning. Remember, this is one of the ones that kind of led as far as EV makers are concerned yesterday. 2 days ago, we had that really big move up to 1840. We got to 1940 yesterday. I mean, decent volume here again for Nikola Workhorse, another one moving around.
Yeah, look, it's not that you know, it's not that I'm necessarily preferring a workhorse over Nikola or making that distinction. Obviously, you know, you can see Nikola actually up 2.5% and workhorse still being battered, but it was just one that I traded and had some success with. The move was exactly, I mean, not exactly the same, but very, very similar off the open on Nikola yesterday, 18 up into this like 19 half zone. Maybe not quite as big in terms of percentage move as workhorse was, but the result very, very eerily similar as it pulls back in. The difference, of course, here is that you're actually holding positive and getting right towards this point here at like 17.35. And this is after this is at the close resistance. I mean, the bigger levels clearly is when it tried to get through that $18 range again. So you're probably going to be looking to that on any kind of a move. It does give you the look of like a 17.35 break. You're almost not wrong until 60 pennies lower, which is exactly 1-to-1. That's why I don't favor the break there, guys. So, I mean, I'm going to be trading over in workhorse. I've already sort of said that. If you like that break, it's your cup of tea. I think you really have to believe you're getting better than the 18 or have a quicker trigger to the outside there. I feel like if we do get up to this, I always do that, where I point over here in the future when it's going to get to this price instead of over here. I feel like if you get up to this like 50 to 60 area, because it's Nikola, decent chance you could break it, maybe top out at like an 1880 or get to that 19 before reversing. So I think if it breaks that 18, you look at the next level up, and it's probably more of a price area that could be 30 to 40 cents, maybe even 50, guys. So I would tread rather lightly if you're going to be shorting in Nikola today. I'll stick with the memes that were working, not memes, the short squeeze names that were working for me in yesterday's action. I just don't like that risk to reward on what seems like a decent break over in Nikola.
Yeah, BlackBerry trying to break higher here. Some of the other ones not really doing a heck of a lot at this point. Let's talk about Facebook. We've gotten away from some of the big tech talk over this week, in the past couple of days specifically, with everything else that's been happening. But the UK and EU coming out saying they're going to launch a new antitrust probe into Facebook regarding advertising and spending and things of that nature for FB. So slightly negative here, but we are coming off, we have to remember, you know, a pretty negative session for tech stocks in general yesterday.
You just got to be long Facebook. You know, I've talked about, you don't have to be. I mean, it depends what you think of the market here, but what a great rebound back to the upside there. Remember, they have WhatsApp, they have Instagram. And I've always said this, like if they're going to start looking into some of this, then I think that's a good thing for the stock. I don't think necessarily it's a bad thing. I don't even mind if they split this thing up. I mean, even now, Facebook Marketplace, there's many opportunities to get in there and monetize, and they're doing that with Facebook. So I like it, and especially today with the NASDAQ going to be upside here, 0.61. We'll look for Facebook to go upside here, in my opinion, anyways. This is this $30, well, $330 I was going to say, but it's actually $327.40 from yesterday. Here's a 20-minute chart as well. We've topped out there from yesterday. Sorry, this is a 3-minute chart. Let me switch this over to 20 quickly here. I don't know why that used to be a 20. I must have changed it. Okay, so here we go. You know, this is the kind of levels I'm talking about. We've been stuck up here above that 330, and it doesn't really want to go. So there's been lots of issues here at this 330 level. But this is the key right here. It looks like we may jump above this 327.25 here. So if we can get above here, I think it's clear sales to about here, 330, 331, and it's not a big move. Like you could get $4 or $5 here off open, no problem. So I think on this news, if they didn't hit it, like they hit it early, it went down to 323, then people said, you know what, this is not that bad, and then it came right back to the upside. So to me, you have some support down here around 323, 324. So if you like the market today, which I think I do, in the NASDAQ, then this is a long. So let's take longs, but be cautious. So I'm going to put some bids downside here. Hopefully we get a flush early on the 20-minute. And like I said, right about here would be nice. We held 324, 323 yesterday. So if we can get some bids into this area, which I'm going to put right now, then that would be good. I mean, I think we can get a flush off the open, and then we'll just protect it, man. If it breaks below 323, 322, then we get out. Oh, man, there's AMC, so let's go. We're already in this one, and there it is, guys. Let's just, I mean, diamond hands, I am not. A nice move here. Let's see if we can take a smooth dollar there on AMC. We break that 50 out. There it is. Back-to-back jacks already. Dab it up. We gave you that 50 level. We like it. There it is. Let's go, AMC. Now we can moon. We're out of 40% of the trade. Let's hold the last bit and see how far we go here on AMC, guys.
Good look there. I mean, I can see, my bid is stuck sitting there, so I didn't get that break. Got to cross up further. That's what we always talk about. Sean, very quickly, you read my mind about the dip buy there. The only difference is I looked at 323.50 to 320, an actual bottom in the pre-market. There's a 321 area. I like that for area support, so I want to buy on a dip in Facebook. I feel like you want to get a better price because of that resistance if it's going to be in there. But AMC is going to that upside. I've canceled. If my bid comes in at this point, I wouldn't want it. If it flushes all the way back in. So I got to look for a better place for consolidation. Now keep in mind some levels from yesterday's action are going to probably come into play here, namely this sort of 57, 58 area, which was pretty big. Look, I'm not saying we're going $6 or $7 off of the open, but bouncing and then making an initial push and then fading at 9:30 is something that's happened time and time again. So you want to be prepared for that and actually move back bids. I'd probably move back bids from like 50 to like 46 to 48.
It's a little headline here, guys. We'll pass along quickly on Office Depot. Remember Office Depot? ODP Corporation, now formerly Office Depot. Staples proposing to acquire their consumer business for about $1 billion or $18.27 per share. So not much of a reaction yet, but ODP getting a little bit of a bump there. There's no volume, but just a heads up if anyone is interested in ODP Corporation. We'll talk about Tesla. Another day in negative territory here. We had a big move down yesterday, late in the session, following those Chinese delivery numbers that were halved month over month from April to May. That was the main catalyst on the stock yesterday. But I mean, is this getting to a point where it has to be bought somewhere?
Well, look, everything depends. Everything depends on your time frame. If you got a long-term time frame, then, like I would say, and I already did say, and did get that 580, which I was been waiting for. And if you like it for a swing, there's two ways you can play it. And apologize for the non-split adjusted chart when you go way back there. There's two ways you can play it. You can have a swing stop below like 540, and you're literally risking less than 10%. Or you can be holding this one for the long term. So, I mean, you can do it either way here. I like this level, and we talked about it. The day trade I liked at 600, but that was basically, the exact moment that 600 was holding was some interesting stuff happening in AMC that was much, much better. So today, if we do get another move down and break back through that 575, 580 area, I'd probably hold off doing anything until you get to those 60s. But in terms of the long term, you almost got to like it here. It's starting to pile in a little bit, this bad news. And if we're talking about a break to the upside, which, I mean, I don't know, like it's easier to probably play strength in GM and Ford in that regard than as opposed to Tesla. It's not crazy like in 85 giving you up into that 90, 95, but that'd be a scalp into 600 and probably not a heck of a lot further than that. Just so you guys, if you're watching that move that just happened in AMC, and I said we'd be focusing on a few of these stocks in particular. One of them is Workhorse. Iceberg order sitting right at 1435. So as AMC was going, they were trying to hit that 1435 over and over again, and it would not break. So it looks like a bit of resistance up here at this particular price. It's starting to pull back right now. If that does go, and we're still holding above 50, I think that's going to be a decent break. But once again, there is a seller pre-market right up here at the top, around the same price in Workhorse.
So I'd rather look at NIO than a Tesla just because of what we've seen on NIO. It's been pretty clear, some of these moves over the last little while here on NIO. And today it's not doing anything, of course, in the well, it's doing something in the pre-market. I mean, it's up. Look at that nice little fall into the close yesterday. And again, this is not going to be one of those squeeze stocks, but although it can trade like that for sure. Here's the move up, here's the dip, and then there's the rip, right? This happens all the time. So we're going to be waiting for that on NIO. What we put on our list here is the 4140 break. So we put that on our sticky note. You can see that. I was going to hold it, but I don't have to. It's on Twitter there. And again, like, did we nail that? Like, we put this level out a while ago. It's bounced off 4140 a couple times since we've even put this note out. So, that's going to be a good level. And let's just wait to see if it breaks. 4150 is right here. I like to get longer a little bit earlier than that, and then to the upside. But if the same thing happens, I think you can play off yesterday's bottoms, so 40. So if we can crash back down, let's take a long at 40.50. We're just going to wait to see if we can get some longs into this market. That's all for NIO. And then if 40 breaks, and we're gone. So I think it's well worth the risk here for NIO. We'll check the imbalance locator. First of all, AMC now only 25 cents in the money. So again, we'll take that profit out there on AMC. and wait. So now, I mean, it only goes as high as 51.60. So I didn't even have any offers. My offers are at 54. So we'll have to wait for that one to come through. Who knows where it goes from here. I still don't like the fundamentals of this stock. We've talked about that, but hey, trade the momentum. That 50 break was sweet. Just should have got out of everything, I guess. But like I said, not sure about where we're going to trade today with this name. But NEO, let's check out the imbalance locator. That's what we were doing. Ford with a big buy. We'll get to that in a minute, man. We're celebrating Ford all day today. AMC still a sell, so that's a little strange. And then BlackBerry's a bid. But as you can see by the numbers today, guys, these are not like blow your face off numbers. Those of you that have seen us here on the show and been fans of us for a while, these can get into the millions, right? Like when AMC is going off, you do get into the millions there. So be very, very careful with some of those plays right now. We just took some out at 40, 50, 50 there on AMC as well. So now we'll hold. Now we got out 60%. We'll hold the last 40. The reason why I'm still very, very wanting to short down here at 45 if it goes. I'd hate for that to happen in the morning and then I lose on this and then whatever I make won't be that significant. So let's just get some out here. We're still going to hold the rest. Now we don't do anything until some key levels break on AMC. But hey, I like NEO for the long. Let's pick up some low bids if we can.
Nicole Harris with a super chat there. Thank you so much for that, Nicole. Talking about the 9 Limited, which is NCTY. So this is crypto related. They bought Canadian Clean Energy Cryptocurrency Mining Facilities company. So a heads up on that. Yeah, the 9 here, NCTY up 21.5%, but it needs to get above 14. I mean, this thing has come off tremendously as well. This was 90, if you remember, going back to, I guess, the end of last year. But we're trying to hold above 10, so watch NCTY here coming up as well, guys. Let's continue along. DocuSign, the next one we'll talk about. They reported earnings after market yesterday. JP Morgan, we saw with an upgrade on DocuSign, one of those kind of stay-at-home type names or maybe work-from-home type names, the e-signature company, guys. Not a lot of volume here, but decent report for Docu.
It is, and look, this happened with it's happened with a lot of tech names, and you can probably go down the line here where you get not necessarily the biggest follow through. For now, it's got about a 7% move on, which is pretty decent considering how good the numbers were, and given what it's actually doing, breaking above a 200, getting past this like 50 period. The key thing I think is you want to see the close above here, that particular price in today's action. And when it comes to levels, if you're expecting what I think can usually happen here, whereas there's a little bit of a dip, and if that's going to be the particular case where it gets sold off for the open, I think you're almost all over like a 202 area if it does come back in front of a 200. Otherwise, there's a 210 break, which could be in play. And the reason why breakouts look pretty good here as opposed to some of the other sort of recent earnings that we've had is it is pretty smooth sailing. I mean, look, you might have some resistance at 205, but come on, that probably gives you like $3 or $4 there. And then it's pretty smooth sailing in terms of getting up to that 230. So the chart looks pretty fantastic in the short term for that little bit of a day trade, especially when you have some of these pullback levels. When you look at the pre-market here, even a 210 break, you can give up like 250 back into this 207.60 area. So it does give a nice little setup for that 10 break. Clearly, I mean, I'm actually going to have a bid out off the open on Facebook, and I'd be likely inclined to do something similar in DocuSign. So long as I'm not staring at AMC like 45, 46 in the face, we can be active in some of these names. But DocuSign, I think, will give you opportunities all morning long if it is to the upside, anyways. But 210 looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be trading DocuSign, but we hit the idea button because I called this whole move, so we called this move yesterday. I said watch out for DocuSign to be higher on their report, so there's a 7% move for you. Yeah, so there you go. So we called that move, so that's a good one. I don't know what we'll do with it. It's above the 50 period. We talked about this consolidation down at the bottom. I liked it for a breakout, and that's exactly what we got today. So congratulations anybody that took a little bit of advice yesterday on DocuSign and has that. Obviously, you play it back into a 200 level, so we'll see where that goes. Someone asking on the chat as well. And again, we're all about education here, so we can talk about this. Ford. So Ford right now, $1 million bid, right? Does that mean it's going to go up is the question being asked? No. See, it just got paired off. So you have the paired off volume here. That just means that you add these together. So there was in total 2 million shares to buy on open on Ford. The direct market makers, the guys on the floor have found 1.4 million shares to match that. So they found 1.4 million shares to sell into a 2 million buy, which leaves this left. So that still has to go off the open. So again, that's not that many shares, like 800,000 into 5 million that it's already done. So the opening print should be somewhere around 2 million shares. And again, it's the market maker's job to find somebody and find a price level that matches the supply and the demand. So if you see here on the board, and again, this is just an education piece here. If you see on the board, there's already an offer right here for 200,000 shares. So that's not been matched yet. So right now, he's going to buy 1640. So if he opens the market, or she, the market maker there, opens the market at 1640, then that's where they're opening it, and they'll just take all of these shares, and then hopefully that adds up to about 800,000. If it doesn't, they could take some out of their inventory to supply an equal and fair market price. So that's all they're going to do, is look at the supply and the demand here. This doesn't mean anything as far as where it's going to go. If this was 8 million shares, then maybe there would be a problem. But Ford's been doing a lot of volume into that. Just like this AMC doesn't mean anything, 400,000 shares. So there's nothing significant here, which is why Neil and myself and Brendan will always talk about when we have rebalance days, when those numbers on open or on close are meant to be market influencing, right? Sometimes you get stocks that are added. Like if Ford was being added to the S&P 500, obviously it's already there, but if it was being added today, then you would see that number like 20 million shares or something to buy, because people want to get that opening print to add it to their book, right? The same thing at market close. So for right now, that's what the imbalance locator is. If it's anything, it's just an idea of where the sentiment is in the marketplace. So Ford was a bid, AMC was a sell. So take that for what it's worth. But I hope that explains a little bit to you there about the imbalance locator.
Yeah, great explanation for anyone that was wondering. We show that very regularly. Let's talk about Ford. I mean, there was really just the upgrade. It was JP Morgan with the upgrade today. We talked about $18 on the price target. A little bit of data out of Russia as well. Month over month car sales, or year over year car sales in Russia for May, Valeria, 140% increase. So lots of people buying cars over in Miss V's hometown.
Thanks, Ms. V, for that, by the way.
Yeah, you got to show with the props.
We've been, you got to give props to Ms. V on that one. Thank you for having the motherland buy up a whole bunch of Ford cars. But okay, anyways, we've been, look, I didn't put any money into new EV names or anything like that. We were involved in Nikola off the SPAC. We've been in Fisker. We sold a lot of Fisker in the mid-20s. Bought some back at the $10 mark. You guys all know that. We've talked about that. But I continue to hold my Ford. I don't want to dump this stock. I don't even care what happens to this stock. It's been up huge. It's been a great name. I have no ideas why this thing would ever pull back to some of the levels. I mean, we're long at, our first long is $6, $7. And then we bid in here. And this was a trade that we made, again, tweeted it out. 11.31 is the price we have on this bottom. So we saw some consolidation. And again, what I'm going to do on Ford every single time is when I see some bullshit stuff like this come to the downside, this was on earnings. All they said was everything is rocking and rolling, except for we don't have enough semi-chips, conductor chips, to meet demand. So like they have too much demand and they can't supply enough. Okay, so to me, that's just screaming buy at some point, right? They're going to get their chips figured out, right? You've seen that with NVIDIA now making all-time highs. AMD still has that run to 100 in it, I think. So right now, Ford to the upside, man, and it's still going to go. People are buying that Lightning 150 like crazy, apparently. The Mustang has been electrified. 40% of their stash is going to be electrified. And yeah, let's just keep on going. Did I just say stash? Where's my mind at? Let's go AMC.
Well, it's because you know who's in the building this morning. Bradley's in the building, so that's where the mind is at for sure. Speaking about the chip shortage, guys, GM came out with comments which might put a bit of a damper on those supply constraints because they're pretty confident about things. They've just broken out at 63.50. You gotta like an opportunity to hold the close below that price, at least in today's action. If it does come back and retest anything close to like a 61, I'd be all over any dump in GM. I now have 3 positions because obviously, why not? It's like 9:23, so let's get a little bit active. That workhorse did just break. I got 38 to the long side, 38 and change, got a bit of a blended price there. 38 and change to the long side. And then BlackBerry, which I said I would be looking for that short. So yeah, it goes up, doesn't get to that 1650 that I talked about, fails off of 1640, then tries to jump back into that price. Just want to zoom in so you can see. Fails shy of that price. Will end up in the short side of this trade, 1620. Now, I have a relatively tight stop. I actually want to get some more shares if I can. I was sitting here waiting in the high 20s. If I can get more shares, fine. If it breaks out that 1650, I'm out. In that likelihood, Workhorse is probably through that 50 area. I'll scalp some out of Workhorse because it's the pre-market. ADMP is a bit of a different beast. That's actually working now 5 cents in the money for me on a penny stock. Well, it's $1.06 penny stock. So BlackBerry, Workhorse. I still am going to be watching AMC, and I still want to have something if it does a big dip in the off of the open. But already into 2 of those 3 meme stocks or squeeze stocks that we've been talking about here. 1 short, 1 long.
I like. I just want to talk about BlackBerry. I love the long man through the 1640. I know Neil's looking for a short there. It's the same level. So
it's the same level. Like where I'm getting out is where you reverse, right? Like that's same level.
I'm not going to short this thing at all today, man. This thing is a hot fire. You know, yesterday we saw it rip and then the tank. So I think we're just going to play price action again. Right now, up 1.89%. We know it can go. If we do get long though, like I don't think a lot of these stocks are going to last. Like this move. This may be one of the later days coming. And again, I have to be very careful what I say because I want to be long everything and I don't want to offend people that are thinking a lot of these stocks won't stop going up. But the party does come to an end at some point, okay? And so I like the long right now through 1640. I think for me, that's a no-brainer. And then if it comes up to 17, we'll probably get some out. You see some consolidation up here at 17. And if we're lucky enough to get 1750, then we'll take that. And then I think that's probably a decent short upside here, 18, 19, something like that. But if we can get to 1640, we'll take it. No idea. I mean, AMC, guys, like it just went up. Like I hate that. I can't get rid of this. Like, chart fail again, man. But, right here, long side $50, breaking up to 51. We held it all the way against us $1. I mean, that's not that much. And then now we'll wait to see if it goes upside. So you got to hold. This is what I'm talking about with AMC. You got to wait for some of these lower level breaks. Guys, if it does break 48, I'm going to be gone on this one. But let's see if we get it upside. I do have an offer at 54. So you guys would think that that's where it's going, that I think it's going up there. So we'll wait for 54 to come through off open with only 4 minutes to go. And there's Ford. So Ford now getting bigger to the buy side. And just, again, I know a lot of you, thank you for the kind words about the explanation on this, but you can see it's not moving the stock. So even though this is changing, Ford, we still have some upside to go here. So I'm going to watch out for a 1650 break on Ford. Although we've already been up here, I'd rather watch it, trade it back down to 16. I mean, it's right here, right on the sticky note. I mean, look what we talked about. We said, wow, it's right here. It's the last one here. This has been a great moment for Ford, but this thing can pull back to 16. That's where some of my bids are. So let's see if we can get a little lucky on some low bids here on Ford.
All right, guys, a couple of minutes to go. Let's have a look at SENS, Senseonic, trading higher again this morning after a decent move to the upside yesterday. 3, if you go to this is a daily chart, so 3 even, and then above that 340. So 340 to the upside, big resistance on the daily chart. We topped out at about 290 aftermarket yesterday. We're coming back into 275, so look for a test of 3. Holds above that, we could get to 340, guys.
So quickly, Edwin, the reason I'm long on Workhorse is going to be that level break. It was an iceberg that worked yesterday, so it's a relatively tighter stop than I would have had in yesterday's action because it's a second time through. I have the short in BlackBerry, and of course, look, it goes to the 16. If I'm going to play inside of that high that it pulled, we have a pre-market previous top here at 1596. It dipped into 1595. I will take shares out in front of it. I'll take shares out if it breaks beneath that, and then we'll look to see if that 1530 bottom can hold up. I am looking at that SENS as well. That 17% short interest has to be something that is going to be on watch for all of you guys. Because it could still squeeze back into the upside. This chart looks exactly, this AMC, this chart looks almost exactly like BlackBerry here. Although I do feel like if it doesn't hold 49s, remember I'm talking about that 46 level to the downside. I think that's where your open flush defense would be in front of that 45, which is definitely going to be a key one. With only 2 minutes to go, guys, BlackBerry short looks pretty good. That, of course, means, and with this pulling back, that's going to mean that Workhorse, which we did get some out in front of this cluster at 50. I actually have one in case this one pops into $15. I want to make sure I have an offer there at the open to be able to catch some of that love. But if it gets immediately past this 14.20, I'm just getting out of it completely. Unlike yesterday, this is the same pattern twice at a different price, and of course, a bit of a more negative feel to some of these names here, guys. So it's a breakout style play. If you like buying the dip, I'm probably going to be doing so in AMC, and I've already picked my poison and which one I prefer in that regard.
All right. Yeah, just looking at some notes here. Yeah, thank you guys. I'll buy a pug or a Frenchie. I had a pug, man. Again, if you go to my Instagram, you'll see his name was Guido the Pug, and he was, God rest his soul for now, because we have a new dog, and it's a cockapoo, but I love the pug. The pug is a great one. Check my Instagram if you did want to see some funny pug pictures as well. Okay, AMC to the upside. We'll wait to see on that one. You already know some of the targets. We've got BlackBerry on watch. We've got AMC on watch. We've got Ford. We've got NEO looking for a dip buy in NEO. There's that 4150's gone. We'll put a bid at 41 now to see if we can catch that. I was hoping that we would fall a little bit lower, but there's 4140 was on the sticky note, guys. It's still here, but I'm not taking a NEO trade into the open. No way. It's too it fluctuates too much. We've talked about that, and we are going to get out if AMC does drop below. So now here it comes, guys. If it drops below 48, we're going to be out of this one and then just wipe our hands of it and then wait for the trade that we really like, which are some shorts, guys. We talked about that. Just got to make sure it's all loaded up. Short through 45, so maybe even this 46.50 on AMC. So get buckled up with only 5 seconds to go, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, the countdown did not trigger in time, but I'll go with 3 and 2 and 1. I got this BlackBerry on right now. Let's ring that bell, Miss V. Almost basically immediately, we're testing a 16 level on BlackBerry. I did get some more shares out to the short side. I do have that long in Workhorse as well. So I'm immediately looking down towards this 1550 area. You can sort of cleanly see that one on the chart as we're breaking through. There's the previous pre-market low at 1590. So that's where I wanted to dig into some more shares. And of course, as Workhorse goes up, the BlackBerry short's going to retest this 1625 area, guys. But Workhorse now at that $15. So I'll ring the register on that one to the upside while monitoring our BlackBerry short, 16s.
Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, so right now, guys, we're long AMC, and it's Rip City right now. Let's go, AMC. Let's see where we could go from here. We're also long Ford. We're short Workhorse. You know where our targets are on this one, guys, 54. But it's having a little bit of a problem getting through 52 here. But let's wait to see where. There it goes, 50. Let's go, AMC. We're long this one, guys. A big win right now. Where's my man Rob at? Where's that ape? Let's go. Where's the ape? There it is. Ape gang right now. 53. Here we go. This is our target, guys. We're going to hit the damn target in a minute. Let's go to the upside. Oh, maybe we don't. Let's just get out right now. We missed our target. There it is. We'll take a piece out. Now we'll cancel. So here we go. Upside on AMC. Let's moon, guys. And bang on the Workhorse short as well, guys. Beautiful short off 15, guys, here. We talked about this one. Why we like the Workhorse short. Bang, 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 bang. Lots of money. One time daily goal. Let's go.
And exactly where you got in is where I got Workhorse at 1488. The top is going to be 1494. Remember I said, throwing an offer up here in front of it in case it makes that move off the open, which we were anticipating. That is exactly what came to fruition here, guys. I still, of course, had that ADMP, the reload in BlackBerry. And with the first short we had, of course, a good one. The reload not as good. This ADMP is holding $1 for now. If it pops, I'm shorting again at 110 and in front of 110 only, guys. It's going to be a very, very particular trade that we make in that one. AMC, of course, does not give you that dip off the open. It's only moonshotting to the upside. A 55 break is potentially in the cards here, but that's got to be a scalp and a scalp only. Feels like a bit of a trap to me, guys, so I'd be lower size on any 55 break.
Apes out. Let's go. There's my Workhorse. Oh no, my chart's not working. Okay, we'll have to reload the chart. But here we go, guys. 54, we called that. That's where our offer was. But then why did we get out at 52 and change? I'm going to have to reload this chart, guys. I told you there was some chart issues. I don't know what's going on here. But once I get it reloaded, we'll get it back up. But there goes AMC 53.50, guys. We're moonshotting. And we also have Ford. That's a big winner on Ford as well. Look at our Ford price, 16 right now. Just went to 25. Let's get some out.
Oh, sorry. I was just sitting there staring at GM actually coming into the downside. I wanted to pick up a bid, but it's around this 62.50 area. It's starting to get closer to that price now. So if I'm buying the dip here, I kind of want to have a little bit of something out. Look, all three positions are sort of in the money right now, so I can feel pretty good about them. We got the reload in BlackBerry. The first row was fantastic. The second one now starting to come in as the market is reversing. I got more shares in front of that 30 that we liked. So BlackBerry short side, that does mean that Workhorse is continuing to come back in here, guys, but we'll line it up and we'll flush this one down the toilet. Of course, I did miss on AMC, and look, it is what it is. If I'm sitting there wanting that dip off of the open to get me a buy price, you try to be patient, you're going to lose out a little bit there. I thought Workhorse, and this can't be right that wick. I don't think it came back to 1450, otherwise I should have had a long. It's still continuing to press to that upside, so 15 could be in play for Workhorse here, but BlackBerry just tanking. Now at 1550, we're 45 cents in the money there. Don't want to look gift horse in the mouth, it's got to take some more off. The reverses off the open on some of these plays have been gigantic before.
All right, here we go, guys. $4 in the money now on AMC. So, you know, it's having a problem at this 54.50 level. So watch out for that one. That's a very, very key level. We can go back here, even in their 3-minute chart, right here, guys. Yesterday's close, we were talking about this, but I think we could still test like 56, 57 upside. So if we can get that, we'll get that. We're just been monstrous. This has been such a monstrous month for us that everything we do now is just like gravy. Chicken dinner winners again, guys. Workhorse 40. Like, no matter what we're trading here, guys, like Workhorse 40 cents now in the money on this short. And I called this one for you guys, Workhorse short. Like, we put our order in there, we sat there. I said we're gonna go short ahead of 415. We do that and bang, there's your 50-cent win right there. Also, man, Ford just been buying these bottoms and then getting out. Like, there's another out on Ford. So, wow, this day, man, blowing upside right now. Come on, Ford, you can do this. Let's even go higher. Why not? We're waiting at 18 now again to see if we can get some 18 love. Bang on Ford, guys. Diamond hands all around today. 70 cents on Workhorse. $4 on AMC, and another dime piece on Ford, guys. Let's see if Ford can get back to 1650 now. We loaded.
And you guys know I got one. It is what it is. I'm not showing any hate. It's not that I'm hating on the BlackBerry guys, but we got to do this, guys. We'll go with Gates of Hell, absolutely flushing off the open off that exact same level. We're able to get, look, and it said short in front on the lower high. That's what we do at 9:30. It's now retesting this level here at 15:30. So we're about like 80 cents in the money. We're going to hang on to this one for dear life, of course. Brendan, what do you got, bud?
Another one to look at, guys. LEDS, 2 days now, straight to the upside. Remember yesterday, this thing went from 12.5 to 20.5. We're just taking out that high. As we speak here, 40% for LEDS.
40%?
Guys, Ford, like, we talked about buying this down here, guys. Long into 16. I mean, this is exactly what's listed on the sticky note. Go over to the sticky note, please, guys. Let me know that you like this note. This has been a big trade here for us on Ford, exactly as we listed it, guys. So good trade there on Ford. Okay, BlackBerry's coming in now. We're watching it off that 15 level. We just took a long now. This is going to be a big trade if it can go up, but it's going to be a bad trade if it continues to go down. So let's wait to see. Let's just start cashing out on BlackBerry. Bang again on BlackBerry, guys. You load it up, you take the shares, and here we go, man. Let's see if we can get going. Maybe that was the bottom. Let's get excited now on BB, guys. Bang.
Yeah, and there's that dip of, we talked about this 62.50 area, 63 on GM. It actually goes to 62.88. I'm just a little bit beneath. I mean, BlackBerry, I'm holding the last of my shares. We're pretty deep in the money on this one, so I'm going to give it some room to continue that press to the downside. And I talked about that 80 MP. I called it a penny stock. Look, that was sort of a slip of the tongue there, but it is now actually officially a penny stock. So it's at 98 cents. We're holding at a 108 short. My average price was actually 105, but I got some up at the top here at 108. So nice return there. AMC back below 50, so watch out. Now we could be retesting that 45 to 46 level. That was a good one before. Brendo.
Let's go to vaccine world, shall we? Moderna leading so far. I saw Pfizer up initially as well. Just cleared that 200 level once again for Moderna, 3.3%. All-time highs up here today, guys.
All right, we talked about getting very, very specific with our orders. So that's basically, not basically, that's exactly what we've done here with some of our trades. We're just only traded 4 names now, and they're just like absolute fire, guys. Look, give credit here. There's the sticky note here. Look at Workhorse, man. This is $1. Like, this is $1 in the money on a $14 name, guys. So that's a good trade. We'll take that. Also, look at Ford. We talked about it right here on that sticky note, guys. And here's what we're talking about. Ford, you know, pull back to 16, then long. Okay, so basically, I mean, if you're not getting that playbook, I mean, that's pull back to 16 and long. Okay, so we're following our own words of advice there and taking that one. BlackBerry, let's try to let this thing go a little bit. We did take a big position there, so that's why we got out like rapidly. So now we'll hold the rest. We're out of 2/3 of this trade already. So again, all we're doing, man, is just stacking, right? What you have to do when you're having this kind of success, guys, is just stack the money. One of my very favorite things called rain the money down right now. So that's what's been happening today. We did get out of our AMC when it broke 50. So you guys saw that. We should still be in it, but we'll put the money in our pocket on AMC and now wait for another opportunity.
Yeah, and that might have actually come. The opening range bottom was 48.20 here. I was looking to see if it broke. If it broke, that's the momentum I wanted to see to that 47.46. This is now going to be key as it gets back to that pre-market top here in the 50 break, which was 51.50. A rollover through that price is likely to get you a break of that 48. So you want to watch out for that. I'm still going to be hanging on to that BlackBerry sort of for dear life, guys. But there was one other one, and we talk about this SENS. SENS, come on, load up there. There we go. SENS actually making a bit of a press. With flush to 250, now pressing right back into this pre-market high. So you know if you like this, if you've watched the show long enough, you know I'm going to try something a little here. Getting short on SENS off of this pre-market, not high level, but I guess the high off the open and going into that open, which is about 278, 280 level, guys. So if I can get SENS in front of that, I want that short trade as well.
Man, like we're just holding Ford now, but we're still huge on this name, guys. Like we're long at 06 now, and it just keeps going up, and we just keep getting out. We just took a 32, it went up to 35. I said, let's see if we can retest the 1650 area. So that's sort of what we're going to hold out for now. I'll put another offer like at 38, 39, and then we'll see if this can roll. So this is a monster win. Ford's my number one stock. Well, AMC is my number one stock, but once we clear out of Ford, it will be Ford. So that's going to be a good one. And then Workhorse not far behind all of this, guys. Look at this. Tick. Boom. So all the way down to 1370 there on Workhorse. We were waiting for a 1350 breakdown. So right now, I mean, I should have got some out there. That was really silly of me, not taking that out. So we're going to put a bid now, and if it breaks above 1411, then we're gone. So we'll put a bid down here like 1370, something like that. See if we can't catch a falling sword here on Workhorse and get out of our last bit. But right now, that's what we're working with right here is Workhorse on the downside off of a beautiful dollar win here, guys. So we'll be out if it goes above 1410 there, but there it goes. So did we get out? No. Oh, almost. 14, there it goes. There we go. Now we're out. So there it is. So that continues that trade downside. And again, we're just stacking it up. We're at our highest spot we've been at all day. As Ford is right now, guys, at 39. We just talked about that.
Yeah, and we're going to go with this. We'll rein the money in. We just talked about this SENS like 2 seconds ago, shorting off this little level. It immediately heads down that first 5 cents that we like. When you get some more at 5, 10, 15, all the way down to 250, if you get that break, I think it's going to be a big one. Now, of course, as some of these names start to pull back in, it's worth noting that AMC is right at and breaking that 5160 level. Come on, Workhorse. There you go. So remember we talked about this long trade? And then where you have the stop, you have to put it at the tight stop instead of giving as much room as last time. AMC now breaking up, BlackBerry holding the low. You got to think about this as potentially being a bottom. If Workhorse breaks this, you know which direction it's going relative to the other two. Brendo?
Just had a volume alert here on Mosaic, one we haven't looked at for quite some time, but down 2%. This thing has been very strong, getting back to 38, but they announced the closure of 2 mines this morning, so big sell order there at the open for MOS.
Man, oh man, I'm just sitting here like just absolutely in love with my favorite car company, Ford Motor Company right now. I've never even owned a Ford, but I may after this. What a great move upside, man. That's just paying for itself right now, Ford. So good move to the upside. We also talked about NVIDIA looking at that 7 bill level, guys, right now on NVIDIA. So that's a big one. Okay, here we go, guys. Just starting to go. Let's see what happens with BlackBerry right now. Up to 1570 there. I don't know if that was real, but maybe we got to get a piece out. If that does happen again, another winner, guys. AMC 1 for 1, BlackBerry 2 for 2, Ford 3 for 3, Workhorse 4 for 4. Lego!
I mean, it's interesting because BlackBerry, and this is the thing, you got to understand like different perspectives on the particular name. I'm actually holding on to a short, and obviously it got down to 15.10. Should I have taken $1? Maybe. If it breaks up to VWAP, you can think about getting out and then retesting that high. But the trend looks pretty good to me. It's a very similar chart looking to Workhorse. Only difference is Workhorse broke through the top. BlackBerry did not break through the top, and that's where I'm sort of drawing the line. AMC does continue to push up here. You're trying to get through that 55. I said it was a bit of a trap at 55. The second time through, holding this 48 bottom, and second time through on 55, I think it's worth a much better look here than the first time, which we thought was a trap, and it looks like it was. Brendo?
Another mover so far, early mover, guys. Upstart just noticed all-time highs as well for this one. UPST Cloud Company above 172.5. Big volume coming in for UPST. They updated their full-year guidance today, guys.
Of course, and I said this, I was in 3 positions. They all worked out, so I cannot be mad over the fact that we had those 3. But obviously, that's going to take your attention away from something like your DocuSign. There's a 210 break. It is what it is. It's already gone. It's now $10 in the money here. We said it was likely. What was good about the break for a stock that doesn't do a lot of pre-market volume was a clean move into like this potential like 237 area. So there is still some cover. Previous support was at 215. So if it does make a dip back into this range, the 17 to 15 area, I think it's going to be worth it to try and pick some up. Obviously, we'll have missed out on that first little move there, but that's why we try to prep. And you can only trade so many things at one time. That's just a simple reality. We are human beings here. At least, most of us are. And going to go back over to this SENS. It's rolling over now. Sub VWAP here, guys. So if we can get in again, I still want to wait until we break 260, 63, 64. I want to wait for better prices in 75 range. No need to jump in front of it. And we're 70, 80 pennies away from that 55 break on AMC.
Yeah, we're waiting for that break. We're going to trade that hopefully well. We're waiting at 69er here on BlackBerry, so 1569. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like it wants to go too much here. So let's just cash out again if we can. There it is, another one. Nice out. Now we'll cancel our 69. We just took a 55 there. I mean, bang, 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 bang. Nothing but love here for BB. We'll wait to see where it goes from here. And then AMC, just like Neil mentioned there, I like this 55 break, so we'll see. It's too bad, man. We had this 50 break, and then, big time trading out there, but that it breaks 50 and we got out. Actually broke 49 there and we got out. So that was, again, lose $1, make 3. That works for me today as we are at our highest spot we've been at all day. We did talk about NEO as well off the open. Just checking back here, the 4140 break is what we had on our sticky note. And yeah, it's been doing nothing, man. We're still waiting for pullbacks. I'm actually going to cancel some of my pullbacks now on NEO because it doesn't have really the excitement in it right now for NEO for me. So we're going to pull back off that. And then the other trade that we looked at off the open was Facebook, of course, was hoping for a pullback down and we never got that. So it came into 325, but we were waiting lower, 322, 321 on that one. So Ford, good empty out, man. We still have some shares on, but we called that. I said maybe we can get back to 1640. So when we saw a 45, man, we emptied it out. So right now we still have shares, but nowhere near what we did have. So Ford on the pullback down to 16. Let's do it again.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look for, by the way, GM, I canceled my bid because we now run away from that price. It's the last name on our watch list, WINT. It's very similar in terms of setup, at least. And by the way, AMC did make that break at 55, so I kind of have to change, if I'm talking about this name, I do want to short here if it comes back in 275, but obviously AMC just made the break, so I have to jump over there at 55 even. The first time I did think it was a trap. That's what I sort of said to you guys. The second time through, of course, the key being, second time through it holds the opening range bottom, now makes a double tap up here, guys. So if we break 56, I like to scalp a bunch off and then try to hold to that next level. That's what I want to do here. Same thing, rinse and repeat, sort of the patterns that have worked for you in the past, or at least this week. I shouldn't say the past because AMC is a different beast than it was even a couple of weeks ago. The 55 break is on. Clearly that's going to mean, whoa, I thought it would have meant that there was a bounce in BlackBerry, but that's actually still holding 85 cents in the money. Brendo?
Just seeing Zomedica, ZOM popping up here, guys, trying to get back to these highs from yesterday. Big volume on this one. Speaking of former penny stocks, now above $1 again for ZOM.
All right, so we are long off that 55 break. So let's wait to see what happens. It goes $1 in the money. We don't take it, but then it has problems at 55.50 there. So it bounced around there a couple times before heading back down through 55 again. So 55.50 was some problems there for AMC. So again, sometimes you look at these things with rose-colored glasses and you think it's just going to keep mooning. But again, I had another $1 in the money there. We could have taken that and we didn't. So maybe we'll put an offer there and see if we get out if it does go back up to that 55.50 level, and then we'll try to hold on to a little bit more because now it's coming back down to the downside, right? And I told you the range has been okay, like $5 is okay, but we had a much bigger range the last couple of days, guys. So obviously that, so let's just keep watching AMC here. I think a back down to VWAP is possible right now, so we'll kick some more longs into 51, 52 area here, and then we'll see if 50 holds. But that's going to be my plan here for AMC. I think we got to try to be long at least. And, it's a mistake, in my opinion, not to hold something. But like Neil mentioned, you got to trade your book and hopefully you'll be able to be okay on that. But hey, I mean, with the month and with the run that I've been having, guys, you know, today is just a popcorn fun kind of day, guys. Get out your popcorn, have some fun. There's no way, you know, we're going to put on enough risk on AMC to do any damage to what we've done this week.
I'm kicking myself off only because, like, I bought the dip here in AMC, looking to retest that 55. But what I should have been doing, and I never actually got into, is AMC. If it takes this 53, I'm going to definitely trim because, like you said, back into that 51 is where you want to be able to catch some of that move. So we'll try to take a little bit out to trim what we just added in AMC. But again, it's not about. Look, everyone has to trade their own book. I think that's an important thing, but BlackBerry was to be my short trade in these memes, and in these squeeze trades, right? So it comes back in here into VWAP when I'm looking for the long in AMC. I've got to be able to get something on that rollover. I obviously did not do so. As it approaches, I'm going to go back here. As it approaches this pre-market bottom at 1470, I cannot look that gift horse in the mouth, guys. I just can't do it. I'm going to get out of BlackBerry here. Now I have to start thinking about where do you buy that little bit of a dip. Workhorse also breaking through the low. So you're seeing a harsh reversal. AMC holding above VWAP in 50. So it's kind of been the leader so far. So at least that's going for it. But I got the long in front of here. So as good as BlackBerry was, this next AMC long looks like it's a loser.
Yeah, we're in the long. We just averaged in a couple times here on AMC. So let's wait to see where it goes from here, guys. I'm long now 53.50. So who knows where this is going to go. But we'll see if it goes back to the upside. Maybe that was it, but we do have our 50 targets. Remember what we said, like, you're not going to dig in and, you know, lose a whole bunch on this stock today. I don't know. The fundamentals aren't great on this, but we're trading movement, guys. So as the stock goes, we're here right now. Give it to us, Brendo.
One here, guys. Asana on the earnings front as well. ASAN in New York reported aftermarket yesterday. Nice beat for them, holding $40 currently, but sell pressure initially for ASAN.
So I made my sort of, it's not a last stand, but each of these are like individual tile trades. If I'm going to get more shares in here like we did in AMC, the same way I scalp some out, I'm going to take some out at 53 so we can try to dig in below these prices or around this 51 area. If we hold it, we'll go back up to 55 and try to hold at least a quarter of that position through a high of the day potential break. I talked about not looking to gift horse mouth and BlackBerry, bouncing off of that pre-market low. So it looks like that was a good call to be able to get out. So we'll power up for that short. But if we can retest 1540 to 1550, it behooves me to try to get back into that one. And I do still hold this ADMP and SENS. I know they're both moving. Look, I know they're both pretty solid. I missed a chance to get a rollover here because obviously I was busy with AMC and BlackBerry and some of these others. I think those will be safe trades to hold. But AMC, as good as it was yesterday, ooh, we're about to break this 51, guys. And I can't hold. The reason I can't hold this through, or I'm not holding this through, you see me automatically get out. I want this 45 to 46 level. That's got to be the one.
Yeah, I want that level too. So we'll wait to see what AMC does right now. Looks like it wants to break. So when it does, we'll have to flash out. But there's $50 coming soon here. We're waiting for a little bit lower than 50, but it looks like it will break. That didn't. We're waiting for 49.50 there. Maybe a nice little bounce back on that trade. So we'll wait to see if we're able to get. Nah, it's not going to go. I was going to say maybe we get back to 51 and change there. Okay, here it comes back to 51. Okay, so good hold here. Let's get a little piece out on that hold. Bang! I mean, you know what? We'll dap it up because we did hold that through that level. So that was the thing that we liked there. So not a bad hold at all on that level. Let's just see where we go from here now. We just took a little piece out. Again, just saving some equity here. We're long at 52.80. So take that breakout, man. We almost got stopped out there, but we didn't. So we're going to wait for that. You know, again, we talk about area stops, right? Like 50 is too obvious for me. So I was waiting for a little bit lower, guys. And just like Neil, man, we're still targeting this area for a short. So if I can just like sort of, you know, ease the pain a little bit on that, we'll do that. So there's AMC. I don't know. I still don't have too much love for the long right now, but we'll wait to see. I'm holding it. So there it is. We said we'd rinse and repeat on Ford, and guess what we did? You know, get the barbecue ready. It's chicken dinner wintertime again for Ford. So if you're able to get long down there, congratulations. As we start to go back to the upside here on Ford, it's scalp central on Ford right now. I was not expecting that move, so that's a little worrisome. What's up, Brendo?
Lightpath Technologies just popping up. LPTH, 17% currently, but big volume alert just went off there through 275. Heads up for LPTH.
So it actually finally happened. I mean, look, we're going to test that GM. We talked about 62.50. It finally bounces off of that level. So you don't get it the first time because it got about 30 or 40 cents away. The second time through, it just powered back up. Didn't break 63, so we'll catch some on the way back in. I'll add only in the 75 range, so I wanted to buy this off the dip. We have now done so, guys. Someone was saying, why don't you believe in the BlackBerry short? I don't know. I guess that I didn't. Fair enough. I mean, I took it 3 separate times off the open. Look, it goes to that pre-market level. I'm a day trader at the end of the day, so I'm going to look at a level like that, anticipate a potential bounce, and see if I can't get a re-entry. Now, could it stall here at 15? Fail to get back up to a 35, 40, give me another crack at this? That's entirely possible. And if that's the case, we break the low, and this thing is staring $14 in the face, I will have been wrong in that call. But nobody ever went broke taking profits. That's one thing I'm pretty sure holds true. If I'm wrong about that, I guess I'm willing to die on that sword. So there we go. We just got some more shares into GM. Give it about to that 62.50, maybe a couple of pennies lower than that. Otherwise, take some out in front of VWAP. If we've ignored, well, I'm not really ignoring Workhorse, at least I don't think we're ignoring Workhorse. That broke the low when BlackBerry did not, and is still holding below that price. So some weakness did come into it. It was a long breakout like yesterday, but didn't love it quite as much as we did in yesterday's action.
Yeah, we're going to go long BlackBerry here at 15, and we'll hold it back to that day's low. AMC right now, let's just see if we can't spark this little rally here with our apes flying everywhere again. So we'll just wait to see if it can go, man. We're long here at 52.90. So yeah, we took a little bit out for a loser there at 51.50. We talked about that on the way back up, but for right now, man, we're gonna give this a little lower. I don't like that. I thought we would have, sort of hit that bottom and then really gone back to the upside, but it seems like AMC right now is losing a little bit of momentum for the long. So we'll wait for some more catalysts maybe to come in to hit this one long one more time. But for right now, we're just gonna hold on to this position. We're super comfortable with it, man. It's been a perfect day for us, so let's just keep on going. What up, Beep?
I just saw the US 10-year at 158 again, guys, back below 1.6. I want to mention this one in the semiconductor group, MOSY, M-O-S-Y, which is MOSIS. This one is 12% short, so it has got a little bit of attention over the past couple of days along with the rest of this group, but 23% here upside for MOSY.
And this is the thing, like everyone's going to be watching that short interest. Now, it doesn't mean that every stock with double-digit short interest is going to run. Do be careful about that notion because I don't think it's going to hold true. I got to go back to DocuSign because I'm canceling this bid for the bit of a pullback. You're now consolidating off of this top here, 222 into 219. I'm not going to like it nearly as much if it pulls back in. If I get that fill at 216, I think it looks pretty ugly. And then you're now drawing back into the 213 to 214 range, guys. I'm still monitoring AMC. I don't feel the need to necessarily overtrade it. I did want that dip. Of course, we never actually got it. The breakout, first time we thought it was a trap. Second time, it kind of was one. If it tests back below, there is this double bottom at 48, but I am looking at 46, which has been the level for me basically all morning long. SENS continues to try to press back into view up. I said I would short it again, but I'm being very patient, waiting for it to get a little bit closer. I mean, it's only a couple of cents away from getting that 65 to 70 area range where I am going to short some more shares. We're getting the 70s and above. I don't know if I can wait around for those prices to get more shares here, guys. So I'm actually going to throw an offer in here on SENS in that 66 to 67 range, guys, right at VWAP.
Okay, so we're light on Ford now as it's starting to come back down. We got out at 17 there off of a 10 reload. So we still have 16. We're still staring 16 in the face. So let's just wait on that one. But we have more shares, obviously. We have more shares in AMC than we do in Ford, basically. So let's just wait to see here what happens with AMC now. As we're starting to go, we're back into the money now. Almost 52.80 is our price. So here we go. If we can get this to go now, targets, guys, like I don't know, don't really have too many. But what about right here where we struggled last time? 54, 53.50. So if we could take some out here, again, feel really lucky that we're able to hold on to this one. So we don't want to, let this go. I'm debating even getting some out now, but let's see if we can't get one more push. I mean, hopefully multiple pushes, guys, back to the upside. But there's another fail at 52.50. So this is those levels that we failed at last time here, 52.50. So it's happening again. So maybe this is a spot. Yeah, there it is. Maybe that was a spot to get out. I mean, do we get out some for flat and then take a break of 53.25? I don't know. Let's wait to see. What's up, Val?
Hey, Sean, Vinco Ventures are up more than 24%, guys. Could you give us a quick look on BBIG?
Oh, no way.
I even missed that symbol here. I'm trying to trade AMC or what was that symbol?
BBIG.
BBIG, okay, I'll look at that eventually. Okay, right now, BlackBerry, right now, 10 cents in the money. We talked about taking that long at 15. Let's see if we can't get back into this area, 15.50. Again, this is not an I mean, because it's a squeeze stock, we're gonna do this. We're gonna see where we go now, but we did take out some AMC at that 52.50 level. So there it is again, another out. So we're just keeping money in our pocket right now. No more offers. I don't have any offers out anymore, so we'll see if it can go. The mistake was this 55 long. That's where we really got into trouble there, guys. And then we averaged in here, giving us the opportunity right now to limit the damage. So that's what we did. We're still holding half of our position. So by no stretch of the imagination are we tired or giving up on AMC. I actually want to get longer, but we have to wait for these levels to test out, right? So we're going to wait. It has to be a spot. We're waiting for 48s to load the crap up on this stock, and then we'll see if it breaks back down through 46. But for now, guys, let's see if you guys can hold your stock upside now. I'd be a nervous shareholder if I had shares. You may want to pair some off. For options, man, you're playing the home run. So let's see if we can't get back above $60 today on AMC.
Yeah, I mean, a failure to hold above that, above 50, I think is going to be an interesting one, certainly. And then failing at that 45, that option price. Man, I thought it was a trap the first time. I should have the second time. BBIG here, guys, and the Vinco. Look, it's broken through this level here at 407, and then of course you can go back and see 407 into 430 on the daily chart. It's going to stand out like a sore thumb. So when you get a fail lower from that 430 and another one here, and then there was just another retest below 4, it's starting to get into like gap up and bearish territory off of those levels. For me, I'd probably be waiting to short it in front of this top, or you're catching it in the bottom of this range here, 75 into 4 even. So it's kind of in no man's land for me, but if you're holding this from 330, you're staring at a quarter of profit. Why not take a little bit off the board just based on what I see in terms of resistance? It is already 10 o'clock. Let's get to what is happening now. Brenda with the big screen.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at how things are faring so far. North American markets here, the S&P 500, about 0.5%. You can see to the upside, pushing towards 0.6. The Dow, 0.25%. It's the NASDAQ, once again, though, leading the way so far today. Tech stocks having a nice day. 1.25, 1.04 for the 100 and the composite. NASDAQ, the Russell, 0.5% to the upside. Here in Toronto, we're higher as well, 0.2% in positive territory. Let's have a look at a couple of things we were looking at in the pre-market this morning. The first one, Facebook. Remember, this was trading lower initially on a EU and UK antitrust probe, but look where we are now. 328 just broke there, guys. Day highs for Facebook. One more to talk about. We'll touch on Tesla as well. Was curious to see what happened with 575. Ends up holding. We're off to the races now. Back above 590 for Tesla, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like, look, I talked about 575, but we also mentioned why. We looked at some other names here. I mean, I got into GM on the dip instead. As I'm watching AMC here and pull my chart back just so I can get a bit of reference price, 48 looks like it's trying to hold. I want to see if I can get a scalp long in front of it. That's likely to be the next trade here in AMC. I'm not staring at any, obvious little halt. We just turned off 52. So, the halt level would kind of be holding that same 46.50 from before. So if you did have an outsized move here, you'd look to see if that holds. Give me a break. I'm sitting here at 48.32 and it goes to 48.62. So once again, it's like when it makes this turn, you almost need to cross in, and cross the spread and then buy into that turn instead of trying to sit on the bid, at a perfect price. So obviously I'm sitting here trying to buy the dip. You see me actually miss it in real time there, guys. That's basically what's been happening on every single one of these dips. You try to get the entry point, you got to cross the spread to get in actively instead of bidding for it.
Yeah, you just got to bid the right. There's so much volume, guys. To pick the right price. That's what I did. I just crossed up and got the shares there. So let's wait to see where it goes now. We're only long here at 50 again, so we'll wait to see if it comes back up. I was trying to buy those 49 halves and everything once I saw we got hit out at 49 half, and then we saw the resistance back down there at 48.60, and so we wanted to buy it back up now. So now we're back into the money. We'll see if we can't take $1 off this or so if it gets back up to 51 and change. We got to turn into scalp mode right now just to make sure that we take some profits off here on AMC. Been a good day. I mean, there's been nothing wrong, especially if you're holding these and you don't get flushed out on these breaks. I mean, even these 49 dip, these are all buys right here. Like, instead of me getting out, man, I should be buying those levels. So we'll wait on that. Ford looks like it wants to take out 16 flat, but just in case it doesn't, I mean, I think we should probably take a few shares here if we can, and just try to hold and see if it does take out that 16 flat. So there it is. So we take another 05 bid, and now our average price. This is what I mean. You see my average price now is 06. So that just shows you that we emptied out a lot of these 11s up here when we said that, because otherwise the price wouldn't be average 06. But here comes the downside. This to me is worth the risk. We'll take a little bit more if it breaks. There it goes. I was gonna say we'll take a little bit more if it breaks 16. But yeah, it's getting ready to a kill spot right now on Ford. And that's why we emptied this all out. Like, I had no idea why this move came down. And that's why we're lighter down here than we were this first time, because it already showed its face and gave us the move right there. So that's Ford right now. Let's see what happens to the upside. We're long at 06.
Before we go to Brendan, 700 just broke on Nvidia here.
hell
It's
yeah.
trying to hold through. So I mean, that's fantastic for the shareholders. I'm happy, but I'm pissed off that we don't have anything in the long side in the day trade. I got to change my look. I was obviously wrong about holding BlackBerry. I'm going to try to get back into that short. If it breaks the low of the day, I'm getting short in BlackBerry at 1470. Clearly, I should have held. Whoever said it, that Neil, you should have more conviction, you were absolutely right. I tried to catch a bit of a bounce back up to short the pop. There was no pop to be had. If Nvidia comes back and maybe can give you like a 95, that could be the way to get in here, guys. Otherwise, you're maybe only thinking about a jailbreak at 70.25. I almost said $72. That's kind of ridiculous. Brendan?
Your daily dose of SPAC action. Pershing Square, Bill Ackman's SPAC just popping back above 22.5. Big level if you go to the daily chart over here at 2250. I mean, they're talking about trying to get involved with a portion of Universal Music, so it was down significantly on that this morning, but trying to bounce back a little bit here for PSTH.
Yeah, I saw that headline, and I hadn't seen a ton of volume on PSTH there, guys. And whoops, come on. There we go. I hadn't seen like a ton of action or obvious levels that I really liked. Load. There we go. And now you're starting to see, kind of barcoding when I looked at it. Now you're starting to see it get back to this 23 area. This is down 9%. It's getting beaten up. I would love to see it fade off of like a 23.50. So watch out. If you like breaks, maybe you like the 23. I like a fade off of 23.50 to 23.75. That's probably going to be the jam. AMC once again looks like it's continuing to hold that level. BlackBerry 5 cents away from that low of the day. AMC now still testing that 48. If it dips one more time, I mean, you got to start thinking about tighter and tighter stops. If it dips one more time off 48, there's probably a scalp worth it there. I'm shorting BlackBerry through the low. If AMC goes, you almost want to hold on to some of your BlackBerry shares. I am not ignoring that stupid ADMP. It's just like ADMP, Neil. It's just one of those things where if it's rolling like this, I shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. It's now at 94 cents. So, I'm short up here at like 107, 108. Is usually one of these that I'm in. It's like a small cap or a penny stock. It's rolling downside. Probably no cause for concern here. So I can just sort of get out of this as it dies a slow death on that name. Workhorse is very similar to BlackBerry in that you're still hanging out on these lows. It did already break the low of the day, whereas BlackBerry hasn't. That's why I'm going to get this short on 1470 in BlackBerry. And at the same time, you might break 50 on AMC. Oh, I didn't get it.
All right, yeah, and we're just going to give a big daps up because, this is really the one here at NVIDIA. Like, we can scalp out and talk about, our day trades and things like that. But, I mean, when you're making calls, 600 on NVIDIA just a couple of days ago, and now it rips up to 700. That's why I asked if you can find, how do you search your own past tweets? Because I'm pretty sure we were just, like, it was this dip. It was one of these dips here where we had NVIDIA. I mean, it might have been, I can't remember the day. So if you could find out, I just want to find the day that we tweeted out long now, 6:04 NVIDIA. So there it is, nice little move to the high side now. So congratulations to anybody following some of the calls that we've made, or I've made anyways on Twitter there through with NVIDIA. So, and then also, man, Palantir, our last buy was 1850. We talked about that on the show, and it's ripping upside right now. Look at the NASDAQ, man, 1.5% today. Hell yeah, to the upside for NQ, man. And then there goes Palantir. Like, since we've called some of these bottoms here on Palantir, you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 positive days and 3 red days. And including in those red days are marks you can't even tell are red. So That's good, man. So we're really happy with that one. Right now, my only real positions on board here, we have AMC long, and we're gonna, hopefully we'll throw this down again. It hasn't been working though. We love the animation, Rob, but it's not really motivating the stock here. So hopefully it will, but we are still watching out for this one. AMC, we'll see how far it can go down, but you know, it hasn't really worked out. We're flat right now. We're long right here at 50. You can see that on the board, but this is the trade that I'm really concerned with. Not concerned, but this is a very, very large position for me. So we do have a shorter out on this one as it starts to go back up. All I have to do is talk about it and we'll see if we can moon. Here goes forward, guys. We're long at 02. I just told you that we put our money where our mouth is. And again, like, I don't have any problem firing off cannons for you and letting you know this is the trade that we're invested in. This is the trade that we have X amount of our capital in, right? AMC's not a heavy trade for me right now, but I don't have a problem telling you which ones we're loaded in, and that is Ford right now. So let's see, man. My next offer is actually at 09. Maybe we should put that at 08 and just take a little bit out right now. Big trade here for Ford.
Yeah, and look, I hit that at the same time. If we hit them at the same time, see what happens there. We'll go with the money sign as Sean was talking, so apologies there. That 1470 broke. There was a big level in BlackBerry at 1450, so immediately I took that quarter out. I'm going to hang on to it here, and obviously we've been short only this morning in BlackBerry. There was no bounce. There simply wasn't any bounce here up to that, you know, that 15.25 that I mentioned, or even VWAP. It just continues to flush. We're now, look, it's, again, now 27 cents in the money. It's been short off that 1640 level. This is why we want to follow that prep in the morning. It was a great level, 40 to 50. Give you a couple of shots off of it here. And now AMC is about to test that 48. And if it breaks that, remember, 45, 46, a big one. Brendan?
One that just popped up here, guys. Second Sight Medical. We've looked at this many times. Eyes just broke 6 on a huge volume spike. I saw this morning, actually. There was a patent lawsuit filed over in Paris. Yeah, it was Paris, France, where that was filed. So it just broke 6 to the upside. So possibly a reaction coming from that dealing today. But Eyes on the move.
All right, we'll just keep getting out here. I mean, Ford is now 12 pennies in the money, man. We'll just keep on ringing the Reggie. It's my #1 stock by far today. So, you know, there it is, man. We'll just keep getting out 8s, 9s, 10s. Like, you're going to say that this is not like a monster winner, and it's not. But for me, it is. And I mean, that's the thing. You got to, like we keep saying, man, trade what you trade, do what you do best. We talked about buying Ford into 16, man, and we've just done it, cash out. So, you know, we're not going to let the last trade become a losing trade and give things back. So why not just keep cashing out, man? I just hit like, you're not going to be able to see it, but we just hit multiple times at 10. I mean, there's so many outs there. And they're all small because we were really hoping for a move back to VWAP. So I was kind of like thinking, okay, let's just get some pieces out as it kept trying to break 10 and never did. So we just got pieces out here at 10 a bunch of times. So hey, man, when you're long 99s, you're going to get out 10s for me anyways there on Ford. So we'll just keep on massaging it a little bit and getting out. We did get a nice little bid there on AMC, 49.50. We're waiting for 48.50 as well. So we're into this one a little heavier than we were before. So let's wait to see what AMC has in store for us now as it's trying to break back upside.
So I thought, look, you got to learn from your lessons. And this is one of the reasons why we go arrows up here, and one of the reasons why we do this show is I told you exactly what caused me to miss 2 times on a bounce trade in AMC, and that was not crossing the spread. So this time when it bounces, I cross the spread to get in because that's how you get a fill. So we go long off this 49. It retook 49. I just said, whatever, I'm going to punch long. If it gets up to this, look, 52.50, we've seen this before. This almost this exact time of day where you have a level which is sort of being a bit cumbersome, and this was up here at like 56, 56.70 or so. And if it does the same thing again, you got to be wary of this at 52.50. So I'm going to be taking profit out at that 52.50, looking for a clean break, probably of 53 above that price, and then continuing to try that dip in front of 58, guys. So I suppose that was a little bit of a mouthful, but we're trying to educate you guys in terms of what we're seeing here. And yesterday's pattern is not a horrible way to go about some of these meme stocks. Levels only matter so much, but these patterns that everyone can see on their chart, they're going to be following them pretty heavily here. ADMP, whatever, that looks pretty good. BlackBerry has come all the way back and retested that pre-market low 1470 break. So if this breaks out, From here, you get a flush through the low of the day. If it breaks like an 85.90, that's when you really think it is coming back to that 35.50, especially, 15.35 to 50 area, especially with the AMC making its move as well. So as good a short as it's been, this is now short at the low, not short off of the highs into a dump, guys. Very different style of trade, but I got to give it to maybe like an 85 and no further, especially with AMC running.
Yeah, so we'll hit the Reggie again there. We'll hit a little Gronk spike there as we get out a couple times at 51 off of 49.50s. So, you know, these are the longs right here, 49.60, 49.50, out, in, bang. So that's another buck and change there on AMC as our day still nicely positive here. And we're just waiting for Ford to go, and it's right back at these levels. So rinse and repeat, man. There's another out at 10. You can sit here and watch it with me. I mean, it hasn't broke through 10. And when it does, I'm sitting there at 13 and at 14 to play some momentum to the upside. But you see, like, it's not breaking again. So why not put there we go. I just put an offer on a free one and we get out there. So, you know, it's trying to push it, and there it goes. See, it's not breaking. So we just got another piece out there at 10. So let's just wait to see where this stock goes from here. Would love for this thing to get back into 20s. But like I said, we are waiting sort of in the woods here at 13s and 14s just to see if it does break up. Here we go. Come on. You know, 57 million shares. And there it goes. Okay, so here goes 13s. Watch this. They're 12s. Okay, so I told you where we were waiting. Oh, don't tell me we were one penny too greedy. That's okay, whatever. I think it's going to get there anyways. But we're waiting. Uh-oh, come on, 12s. Come on, 12s. Make me a winner here. Let's go to 13s. There we go. Let's go. Give me the 13 print. Bang, there's a 13 print. Like, there it is right there, guys. Like, calling levels. We just talked about what would happen there. Now we're at 14. Can we get some 14 love? No, we can't. So we missed the 14 love, but we got to 13. So there it is, man. Another little win for us on Ford. So good out there. You know, we're getting lighter and lighter on this trade. I'm glad you could just see that with me, guys.
And that's going to be the key, guys. You gotta talk about like what is going on. What do you see? Because scalp trades are very, very different from those, like, you know, buy and hold or whatever style you might come into here, guys. And obviously, you know, or sell and hold. I suppose you can go the other direction on it. Obviously, you know, BlackBerry, it didn't make that turn. I mean, it didn't make that press until that 85 where I said it would have the tighter stop. But it's about having a plan of action. I wasn't saying this is going to stop me out at 85. It was more along the lines of, hey, if it goes here, I got to get out and reassess what my plan of action is going to be. And on that similar vein, I do watch AMC. Wait a minute. Oh, give me a break. Yeah. So, anyways, I put a stop in through that 48. This little wick here, or 48.50. This little wick on the dark pool actually just got me out. So, I mean, look, it's going to be a winning trade because 49 to 50, clearly by my math, looks like it's a winning trade. But I did not want to be out of it. If it does retest that 49, I'll jump right back into it with that same stop as before. But I'm not going to chase a worse price just because I had an accidental out, guys. If I can get 49s again, I will do so. And I will use a different stop order because we do have one that does not get triggered that way. So we're going to try to get back into AMC here. If it does dip back down to that 49, that was an accidental exit.
Okay, and we just talked about Ford, you know, and I know we're talking about the same names, but I've told you I've switched up the game. Like, right now, I'm just trading the best stocks and, you know, using more shares, and it's been super successful over the last little while. So there it is, man. I'm so glad that we were able to watch that Ford with me, and then we just took some more out at 07 here, or 06, I guess. That was a mistake. I'm on at 07s, but we'll see if it can go upside now. Now, no more. We'll wait for our 14, and if we get clocked out down here, sub 15, then whatever, man. It's not even going to be that much damage. We did try to get longer AMC there, but we missed. The same thing, man. My bid was at 48.64. How low did we go? Not even that low, man. 49.20. So this one, yeah, we didn't get anything there because that didn't happen. So Neil talked about that. 48.64. We would have been long if that wick did happen. Did I hear a call for somebody? Yep, Brendan.
What?
Then?
Yeah, just looking at this one from yesterday, guys. RMED, if you remember, popped up about this time, actually. This time yesterday morning, ripped all the way up to 550, halted, and then came all the way back down. So big buy order just came up there through to 5 for RMED.
Oh, I don't get to hear the Brendan calls. No, that's what I'm going to be watching because I know that can be a good one for sure. I do want. This is actually a stock that I meant to be trading today because if you guys follow the close show, C3 AI was an awesome bottom pick off of a lower high here at 65.50. I was like lamenting the fact that I got out way too early and then try to short off this level at 68.40. You can see, obviously, if you hold overnight, that's good. We're day trading, so I had to be flat by the end of the day. So I had to get out for essentially like pennies worth of a win, only to see it roll over. And then it tries to retest that same area, the 68.40, right up here at 68. So if we can get back into this range, 68 to 69, that middle area is where I like to have that short. Retesting the bottom is not a horrible idea here, but I do think it has a chance to break the 65.50 and then retest that 64.40 low, guys. So watch out. C3AI. C3AI still on the move and still a pretty good name to be watching for. As far as BlackBerry goes, you're going to see it. Well, got to zoom in here so you guys can see. You're going to see it now consolidating, guys. This is now making a bit of a cluster off of that low break. If it breaks up from here, like I said, I'm going to be out of my short. I'm actually going to move my stop down to 75, and it's getting to the point where I could almost reverse to a long for a scalp into 15 and 15.20s. The long grid holds this range. I think the more enticing that becomes, and the same thing's happening over in AMC, where it is consolidating a little bit off of that 50 area. 49s, of course, being a solid price that we're buying in front. I got the accidental trigger out for winning trade. I wanted to hold that into 52.50. That area remains in play here, so there it is. Just reversed into a long. I'm now going to play it off of that same original 40.50 that we got out. I'm now long in front of that on BlackBerry and looking for a dip buy on AMC as well. I do still hold that ADMP. This penny stock is it's more of a, you can even say, is it more of a penny stock now? I don't know what you call it. We're actually going to not look that gift horse in the mouth, because that's kind of ridiculous. If you're short at 108 and you don't like 90 cents, then you got to take some out in front of it. This could be headed sort of all the way back into this level, like down to like an 82 to 85. So I want to make sure I have some on board in case it gives it all back. And as soon as I'm like, yeah, I'm going to reverse into a long on BlackBerry and buy the dip in AMC, I'm like long in AMC almost instantly, and BlackBerry's about to stop me out. So the one long I take in BlackBerry, likely to be my doom. Well, not my doom, I'll still be up, and it probably will still be my #1 stock on the day. And on the flip side of that, AMC is continuing to test that 48 level, guys. I don't want us to break, and I gotta have a stop here because it is a little bit lower that we want to test. It was a monster breakout a couple of sessions ago here off of 45, 46. So I think that's going to be a bigger level to hold in front of. That's why I've had relatively tight stops all the way through. Not up like we were on AMC yesterday, but the bigger trade for me is usually off of those bigger moves and those halts. That's what I'm holding out for. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but that's the setup I'm looking for. The deeper move to the downside, the halt trade reversal to the upside, what we liked yesterday. Maybe I don't get it, but that's still what I want.
Yeah. Okay. We're just looking here. So just an update there. Our Ford, this happened. We got out. That's fine, man. We will still drop the mic on Ford because it was a good trade, and it basically just ticked out exactly sort of how we thought it would here on Ford. So it broke that 16. I talked about why this move down didn't make any sense to me with the market ripping. So that's why you saw me empty them all out here. We held like 10% left for that back trade. It might have even been a little bit less than that. So we come back here and realize that just happened to us. How low did, what this time, what is that price? 69s? So I'm waiting at 64 here for AMC. So I guess we got to change up our price there. Now we'll put a bid 48.80. What the hell do I care if I miss this by a couple pennies? What's up, Brendan? Small cap recap time, boys.
Hey guys, let's talk about a few names. I'm going to start with one that actually is not small cap, still mid cap, but was my main focus this morning. BlackBerry, after the weakness that we saw late in the day yesterday, wanted to see a little bit of follow through this morning to the downside, so waited for this to happen. The sells came in right off the bat from 16 all the way down to 15.20, 15.25, which was this area from the pre-market. Support in the pre-market ends up being a bit of a pivot, gave you an opportunity to the downside off the bat here this morning on BlackBerry, so pushing towards day lows. We'll shift over to a couple other ones here. The Sens, not really doing anything. It's kind of boring, actually. 275 to 285 are these highs from the pre-market, aftermarket yesterday. I was talking about it in the pre-market versus 275. So we'll see. I mean, this thing was $2 yesterday, so long way to go if it wants to the downside. And the last one here, this NCTY. I had to try this a couple of times, but 14 was that high from pre-market, but ends up running up and testing that right off the bat, but still kind of grinding along the lows here around 12.5 for NCTY. Guys, back over to you.
I don't know if you mentioned that WINT. Now, Well, we did talk about it off the open very, very briefly, and it made that roll over. That's fine. It's now pressing towards $3. I just got into it here, and you're going to look at this break, and obviously the only reason I'm going to take it is that $3 even level where it's pressing into. If it goes higher than this, you got to watch out for two things: 360 into like 440. So right in the middle of that, I mean, if you do the math, that's actually $4. So right in the middle of that cluster is an even number. So if we break through 3, next resistance isn't until a 80-cent range at 4, which means I have to have a relatively tight stop there. AMC will go with this. Come on, come on. Whoops. Oh my God. Every now and then I kind of move too fast, and I didn't really give too good of a look at which one I hit. I did mean the bull there. Even though I hit the bear, guys. It's again, I got out of this trade accidentally, jumped back into it in front of 49. I'll still scalp some off in that range around 50, and then still look to get the rest of it out in front of 52.50. So as long as we're holding this 48, I want to be in position to the long side. If we break it, I want to be looking for that dip in front of 45.46. If 45 goes, and we both sort of said, look, I mean, if 45 goes, I'm a day trader, I'm shorting a 45 break if it happens. Now, I haven't had a short in AMC yet, but believe me, there will be one if it breaks through that price. And of course, the second I say that went, here is the move. Now, I'm not averaging into this because this high is 297. Well, not averaging into this yet. This high is at 297. I just gave you that 3 even level, so I wanted to see it test the top, start to fail, and then get into more shares. So I'll short in front of this cluster if it goes great, but I'm always waiting to put more shares on or put the full position on a turn off of 3 even. And if it never slows down, I never add and just get out when 3 goes.
Yeah, we're waiting for AMC as well right now, and that's really the only thing that we have on board right now. So it's literally the only thing we have on board. So we'll wait for that one. I guess my Facebook's not going to be coming back down anytime soon here again. Nah, it's going upside. Man, we talked about that Facebook love there to the upside. Oh, my chart's not changing. There it is, yeah. So, damn it, we were hoping for a little bit of a lower bid there. We don't get it. Shout out to all my kids watching and all your kids watching as well today. If you are a young one, welcome to tradertv.live. Hopefully, you'll be a little educated up here, and then you'll be wise investors. But, you know, for my kid that's 9 years old, crushing me right now, we're long Roblox at $65 right now, or no, it's 71. We bought some like 75s and we bought some 65. So then the average price right now 71. And look at this, man. Roblox just been explosion to the upside. We talked about why we really liked Roblox and what it meant, but they're not making any money, and it just continues to rock and roll. So Roblox right now all-time highs, touching at 104 maybe. I think it got there in the pre-market the other day. So 103.35 looks to be the all-time high for Roblox, and we're still trying to hold this 49.50. Are long on AMC, and it's not doing anything, man. We keep waiting for these. I mean, we keep missing these bids, just little down there. But 41, we're still going to have some 51s in our mind, and then some of our outs, which were pretty good. Like these are bids, outs right there. So I wish it would move a little bit more to give us some more opportunities. But for right now, we have to wait on that one. Tilray, $20. Tesla 600.
As you mentioned Roblox here, I went over to Activision Blizzard. I'm like, what Blizzard? Why can't this thing break this 99 and go to 100? So I'm a little confounded that that's the case because I'm a lover and believer in this name, but Roblox is giving the much better moves there. We're going to go to Brendan in a quick second, but look, we talked about the analysis and sort of gave it there, and it's not. Look, I'll tell you this, I got blown out here when it broke 3. I'll tell you exactly how I was looking to make the trade, how I was looking to get in, and that we took the hit when it broke 3 even. I still think there's that cluster at 60, 360 up to 440, which is a very, very wide range. So this one could be a big-time runner if it holds this on a pullback at 3. Brendo, what's up?
What an opportunity for DocuSign, guys. Great move this morning, 15%. I just noticed day highs once again. On volume, just broke 225 there. We mentioned this one, 208 this morning. Wow.
There it is, man. Congratulations to everybody on DocuSign. Man, we called that one for you guys yesterday, buying DocuSign into the close there and talking about holding that for a big print today, and you're getting that up 16%. So that was mac and cheesy easy right there on DocuSign. I love that company, love that name, and there it is there. Hopefully you guys, again, cashed in on that play. DocuSign, good name, good little play right there. BlackBerry still the downside. Like Neo hasn't really given us any opportunities to get in yet. You know, I mean, I guess it did. 41.50 we could have got in there, but we didn't do much on that. 1,500 likes. Thank you so much for all of the likes. And I'm just going to continue to watch AMC here, guys. And I'm not really too interested in too many other names. Palantir, a nice move, but things are pulling back a little bit now.
Yeah, and look, speaking of that AMC, like every single time it tightens this up, I've been trying to get a better price in here, which is maybe a bit of a mistake. I should be rinsing and repeating and just be willing to take that 49 even, but I keep thinking I can get that dip into 48. It just hasn't happened for me yet, guys. And BlackBerry, we talked about this one. Yeah, look at this trigger, guys. Trigger into the long. So we have the short, make a win, trigger into the long, and then take the hit on the long. And it's basically doing absolutely nothing. So at this point, I'm not willing to, obviously, with tight stops like that, I'm not willing to give up what we made shorting it here. But I'm going to hold off on doing anything with BlackBerry until it tests higher up to that 15 range. Patience is a virtue. I still think AMC is going to give these opportunities. And once it makes a move off this cluster, I think that's going to be a good one. The other name, which oddly enough, look, we're starting to go here on AMC. The one which makes a little bit more sense is the one that hasn't gone yet. Now, Workhorse, come on, I went long, scalp, make some, reload, lose. So overall, Workhorse is still going to be positive, but I've held off on this name, and now it's making a bit of a bottom here. If this gets going through like a 13 quarter, I think that makes sense as a long. And of course, I say that as now we're finally testing 51 again. Remember, out in front of 52.50 on AMC is what I'm looking for. Workhorse looks pretty good as well on a long trade through 13 and a quarter. So I'll wait for it to break that price. Not just going to take it when it breaks a wick at 13.20.
All right, yeah, so right now, AMC, I mean, you just talked about AMC, so that's a good little run to the upside. We're going to cash out of AMC, so there it is, man. We're going to get out right there, just breaking through VWAP. I hope it rips up for absolutely everybody. So here we go, AMC to the high side. But instead, man, we'll change it up and we'll go with some BlackBerry right now. So there goes AMC through 52. Here goes BlackBerry as well, 14.90. I mean, I don't know how high this one goes, but we'll get some out now, 94s. We're long at 80s, so here we go to the upside right now. We took literally 10 times the shares on BlackBerry that we had on AMC. So let's just keep going. Nice move here, guys. Nice move. If we can just keep getting this out on BlackBerry, we'll do it. I told you 10x the shares on BlackBerry. Let's see if this one can get going. 99s, break 15, baby. Let's go, BB.
And of course, like we said, 52.50, getting out in front of it on AMC. There it goes. I'm out in front of 52. The second it makes that turn, bye-bye. Have a target in mind. We saw this happen. I said this is what happened yesterday at 11. It was 56.50 yesterday, where it couldn't go through, and it was harsh reversals. So the longs that were building up here were just piling out of it in front before it got to that level. Now on a dip, I can simply rinse and repeat, get back into this one in front of that 49 if it does, and that allows you to have a series of profitable trades on AMC. So trying to make that back after the series of tight stop longs didn't work out for me there, guys. Still haven't had that break yet in Workhorse. It is still clustering down at that absolute bottom. That wint, W-I-N-T. I'm calling it wint because it seems obvious. I don't know, it just sounds good. Didn't get to that 360, only turned at 340 here. So at this point, I'd be looking to see what happens. Not necessarily at $3, but you probably look back to like maybe even like a 285 to 3. It dips into that range. It really would have to hold it to make that secondary push. Looks like it's slowing down a little bit. I thought it would get to 360 on that break. It only went halfway towards that target area. If you guys are in the long trade, that's a bit of a weakish sign unless it can bounce off this 3 area.
All right, so we're out of AMC for a sweet win there, and then now we're just going to try to watch BlackBerry as we take that long, and now we'll just take this to the bank, hopefully on the long side now. I mean, it needs to still go, though, right? So let's wait to see. It keeps bouncing off that 15 level, so we are taking some out, like, slowly on this name. So it's not that we think this thing's going to moon, but if it does break that 15, I want to have some on board. So we still have some here. Here we go, 15. I don't have any offers, so let's see how high it goes. I think VWAP isn't horrible. Like, if we can get to 15, let's just put an order right there right now. If we can get to 15 or so, let's get out. So here it comes to the upside right now. This is a 30-cent win, well, 25-cent win right now on BlackBerry, but it's very, very volatile. As you can see, the correlation between BlackBerry and AMC and a lot of these names seem to have been pretty strong today. When one goes up, the other one sort of follows. So let's see. AMC starting to take off, and obviously we have this 25-cent win now on BlackBerry. And I told you, 10 times the shares we had on BlackBerry than we did have on AMC. A lot of that is just because of the price fluctuations, of course. What's up, Brendo?
Another little one just popping up here, guys. AUVI, which is Applied UV, a little electric component maker, signing a new distribution deal, it looks like this morning in Vietnam. So moving into a new market for them. AUVI just popping up on volume through 10 bucks there on a decent volume spike. In fact, it's 10:30. That means there's 1 hour left in the trading session over in Europe. Miss V's watching what's going on over there. What's up, V?
Hey Brandon, European markets are mixed with travel stocks are trading lower after Britain added 7 countries to its red list of destinations that require hotel quarantine on return to England. Back to you.
Yeah, it's interesting to see some of these moves so far today. 0.6 here for the U.S. after that jobs report, but everything else kind of muted once again, guys.
Yeah, look, obviously you got to find what's actually moving here. And I want to go back to, I mean, it is what it is. Like I talked about what I needed to see to get into that C3 AI short. It obviously never gave you another look. It's continuing to fall off. I did say, no way do I want it off the long from yesterday in the afternoon. In the afternoon show that we talked about, you're probably likely to test that other bottom here at 64.40. So this is what seems to be happening here. We're about at that 65 range. I'd like to see 65 break. And then you're looking for that 64, 40 to 50 area to try to hold up, guys. So that's going to be the look here for C3AI. Look, it's fine. I mean, you can have a direction all you want. It's just if you don't get that set up for the short trade. It was at the open, and we're trading AMC, and we're trading BlackBerry, and we're trading Workhorse off the open. It is what it is. AMC now starting to make that turn again. This held 50-50 now twice. Well, really one time. This other one was kind of a weak volume. A couple of times here. If it breaks, I still like that 49 area, but this would be a great sign for the stock here. If it consolidates and makes another run at this 52.50 area without even a strong test of 50, I think you're starting to look for that breakout. Putting it on the north side of that 50 area makes sense to me because, you know, this was an ultimate trap here. At 52.50 it broke, you would have gotten the long, and then that was one of the deepest pullbacks right into that 48. So I think you look at like a 75 or a 53 even stop, which is what I'm going to favor. Look, if it's going to 56 and then from there to 60 and breaking that 55 first, obviously, I don't think you care if you have 50 long or 53 break. I'd rather have a definitive breakout through this resistance point. So I'll go with 53 or a dip buy only.
Yeah, we're still, I mean, I don't really have too many price targets there. We're still watching BlackBerry as it does make that move back down. We tried to get a little longer there in front of 80. We missed, so we've adjusted our price now. So hopefully we'll be able to get some more if it does come back down. We like BlackBerry. You know, we were literally waiting at 80. Now I put it to 82. I mean, it's just so funny because I shouldn't even care about a lot of these prices, but for some reason I'm trying to get very, very specific here, and it's kind of stupid, to be honest with you, with the way these stocks are moving. Who really cares if you miss it by a dime or something? It's not that important. But on BlackBerry, a little more important than it is on AMC. I mean, AMC, the spread, guys, is 10 cents, you know, like at least. You know, when the stock's moving, you could basically, if you had an algo now, you just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, but then you'd get hit when it finally moves against you. But there it is, man. Yeah, 52.50. We've talked about some of this. We're still waiting for that 45 short. Looks pretty good, man. That hasn't broke yet. So that's a sign to look out for there if you are bullish on an AMC, which I know most of you are. It's held this 48, man. We have bids down here trying to get long. It's just, it's held every single time. So that's been a good one. And BlackBerry's not doing anything. Let's check in on the Tilray. Sometimes these stocks will go in tandem. We've seen Tilray go off the last couple of days. Was that $22 yesterday or something? We talked about where that stock was. Oh yeah, my last couple of days, there it is. See this break, 21, out, and then it dropped back down. And then now you're seeing here today another fall from grace here in Tilray. So these stocks, man, the marijuana, you got to wait for the federales, like we keep saying, to come through, because when that happens, you know, then a lot of these stocks will start to pop. Until then, you sort of got to wait either until you know, there's that mentality again about squeezing some of these trades, or you just wait for the big news. And if you think it's going to come, then just, you know, keep getting your longs. We talked about why we like this thing down here, 22, back to some of these December lows. But yeah, right now, nice move back. Just this is why I'm a little bit nervous about it. It hasn't broke that 50 period yet, right? It tried and then failed, and now we're back down. So, man, just, you know, something's got to change on the fundamentals of these names, right? When that does happen, then you'll start to see some of these pop. But for now, I would sort of stay away from investing in any marijuana companies until you see that breakthrough news piece come on, and Brendan will have it for us.
Yeah, I got a new position alert here. I got Workhorse. It finally broke that 25. I did get the long at 26 here, but the reason I'm going to immediately flip over to AMC for you guys is because another run got made, and this is just happened like a second ago. As I got in the long trade in Workhorse, another run got made at that 52.50 area. So it's getting pretty nimble here. Like, obviously, the breakout is going to be a tremendous help to Workhorse if it makes that break, and I still favor the long at a stop up here to see if we can't get a 53 breakout. If that's a fail break, and we have not moved any higher. I'm not sitting in the money in Workhorse. I'll have to I'll probably trim that position and quickly scalp out of that because I'll be double long in 2 names trying to break out. And if both of them are fake, I want to make sure that I can control the risk. I did add to my Sens position, or sorry, get back into SENS now that it's back to that 270 area, off that 275. You know, we've been in that one for a while. There goes that AMC. I mean, really, like the first move, again, so like the first move, why is it never?
There we go.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, we got a good one there. We got BlackBerry finally, guys. We talked about waiting at that 11 level right there at VWAP. So we take that out right there, a 30-cent win on BlackBerry. And we talked about, I mean, Neil just was mentioning it right there. As AMC goes, I was saying there's a correlation, obviously, in a lot of these names, right? So Workhorse, AMC, BlackBerry, and then the other one here, what about Rocket? I cashed out of a third of my options yesterday for about 125% or so gain off the bottom on some of these Rocket calls, but they're January 16th, whatever the Friday is there, or sorry, June 16th calls, 20s. So right now they're hovering around. I don't have to find out the price, but that's what I have right now. So we'll wait to see where it goes. But that was a nice move on Rocket. And again, you know, as the squeeze names come through, we're going to wait to see. Okay, BlackBerry, again, 10 times. Like, I had way more shares in BlackBerry than I did in AMC. And so this trade working out for us. I'm not saying that because it's a win, just saying that because, you know, the price. Like, it's not as crazy as AMC. So when AMC moves $1, this thing maybe moves 10 cents. So that's kind of the math. Like, people always say, how many shares do you guys use? Things like that, right? Like, that's the kind of math that I do. If I'm going to take 100 shares of AMC, that $1 move is like equivalent to a dime or something. I mean, you just saw that happen, right? BlackBerry broke 15, went to here, AMC's up $2 or $3. So you got to watch out for some of those ratios. And if you trade them accordingly, then it's all the same, baby.
That's exactly it. It is basically all the same. So you trade what you're comfortable with because it is going to be very, very similar. Now, I'm always scalping out in that first move there, and I apologize because my level 2 didn't switch fast enough, so I had to go away. We always scalp some out. It didn't go $1. It went like only 50 cents, which is why I was kind of mad at it. If it comes back into this cluster, I like a long in front of there to be able to buy the dip. That's essentially the same thing we were doing all afternoon and all yesterday in AMC, so I'll go back to that in the bullish side of the trade. I still hold on to Workhorse because there was, I mean, it's at least holding upside here, and we're clustering on Workhorse off of the bottom. I do still hold on to some. I will take some out on the way up to VWAP just in case this, which has been a negative trend all morning long, cannot make a reversal, guys. So that's going to be a key one here because Workhorse has been beaten up and it is trying to make a move off of that little bottom. I've only gone to the long side the same way I was only really shorting in BlackBerry. I did get back into SENS, and I told you guys that. It then just rolled over. This is my original price. We got that 71. It just rolled over here. It took some shares early at like 66. I'm like, what am I even doing? You know, I want a price of like 70. So I'm like, why am I sitting there? And I had to wait until it got up to like 72, 73 to get more. So if it gets down to VWAP, I'm going to have to be taking some out there at 65 because that's the plan. Take the first 5, then you try and take 10, and then you try to hold a core position. So just because I bungle a first entry point, I still have the same overall risk plan. I know what average price I want. I still wanted a 70 price like before. It just put me in a bad position of having to wait a little bit longer before I added to my shares, guys. So that's the story over in SENS. I think it's gonna be an easier one to hold on to. As we send you guys, to Brendan, it's 10:40 for Sector Watch.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the overall S&P 500, see what is leading so far today. It's 0.63 right now for the market. Just wanted to point out Tesla here. First off, 4% now for Tesla on the watch list this morning. We had a little bit of a bounce in the pre-market. We were kind of wondering whether it was going to get some follow through, but nice day so far for Tesla. This is eBay, 2.5% to the upside. Everything else in this group, consumer discretionary group, in negative territory, but these two standing out as positive. Overall, pretty positive looking board. The materials group there, that's Mosaic. I mentioned a couple of mines closing for Mosaic, so down 4%. MLM below that, 1.8%. Little real estate group, the energy sector worth mentioning, has been very strong to the downside today. As far as leaders go, healthcare and tech stocks. It's all about the tech stocks bouncing back after yesterday's pullback. These are the hardware makers. Every single stock in here in positive territory. Outside of DXC, software makers all in positive territory. Look at the semiconductors as well. Every single name in here positive on the day. NVIDIA leading 2.8%. AMAT beside it there, 2.5%. to the upside. So healthcare and tech stocks among the leaders so far. As I mentioned, consumer discretionary stocks in negative territory. Bank stocks also worth noting, very red on the day, kind of limiting the overall move for the market, but still pretty good way to wrap up the week. 0.7 now for the S&P. Back over to you.
All righty then. If you know where that's from, put it in the chat. The all righty then. Okay, good. Thanks for that recap there. Nice to see some of these sectors. Nice to see Tesla bouncing back upside, man. That's a big one for us as well. BlackBerry still just marching around, not doing too much. There was something I want to talk about, and now I forgot what it was. We'll just keep on motoring here, guys, and trying to find these names for you. What we're going to trade, you know, the best names here. Sometimes hard to find, sometimes not. But Beyond Meat looking like a 150 break. Maybe can come into play here. This was not the stock that I wanted to talk to you about, but Beyond Meat right now looking, I mean, look at that move. I don't know if there was news there, Brendan, on Beyond Meat, but volume definitely picking up around 1030. So that stock starting to make a run to the high side right now. BYND trying to go. Obviously, as you can see here, BlackBerry trying, not really doing anything. So we're trying to wait for that one to see if that can get going. Is this Beyond Meat news, Brendo?
It is indeed. Yeah, right. Good call on 1030 there. So they named former Amazon VP as their new CFO. So that was the headline there at 1030 for Beyond.
All right, that probably does it. Yeah, I mean, anything Amazon talk will give you that run. So we can check back in to see what AMC is doing. We didn't really look at that too much. Yeah, 53. It's not doing a whole hell of a lot here. 53 and change. So a downside move's possibly coming, but that's a good break here. 53.50. You may want to take that if you're looking at AMC.
I actually only want to buy it on the dip, and I'm saying that because it's barcoding on a workhorse as well here off that 26, and it's gone in the money like 10 cents. And about 10 cents alone. So while I've gotten a scalp trade out on AMC for that breakout trade, you start thinking about what do you want to add to here, and no way I would add into both of them. I was just saying there was going to be a possible dip buy situation, and now if I played this more aggressively, I would have had some 52s here and then maybe already scalped $1 out of this. Instead, I'm thinking more about VWAP here at 51 on AMC to get back in and see if it can't hold that. But this is one of those, if it does like a flush candle, forget it, throw out 51. You start thinking about that 50 even. Like it's like the faster this moves, the more I want to grab into that long trade on a dip, but the more aggressively I want to allow it to fall before I get into that position. So when I saw that accelerate, I'm like, I was about to bid 51s. I'm like, pull back. You can always cross the spread if it touches that price at 51. And I can cross into like a 51.50, but I don't want to be sitting there in the middle of one of those little flushes, guys, and then just get picked up that way.
Okay, this is what I want to talk about. So I've been prop trading for 19 years. I've traveled the world. I've trained thousands of traders. So I'm here for you, David Longo. The most important questions that prop traders can't answer, I'm here. So if there's any questions that you guys have, David, put that in the chat at me. And then, oh, here he is right here again, David. You let me know what you wanted on that one for what question you want a prop trader to answer. You're probably not going to find a more experienced one than myself. So let's go. If you have any questions, we're not trying to hide from anything, obviously. And it's probably a legitimate question. So I don't have a problem answering that whatsoever. Okay, that's it, man. I mean, not much happening right now. We're trying to find something. What the hell's going on with LEDS?
It's at 29. Well, it was at $29. It just got to 28, back to 28. This is absolutely insanity. Look, I'm glad you guys are an awesome community because probably ignoring this one. It was on my radar a little bit and then got into some AMC and we're trading that workhorse. But LED's continuing its ridiculous run here, and what a view up bounce at 23 even. I would have thought a move like this would stall at 30 or on a halt. It has not halted one time, despite this move looking like it possibly should have. Brendo?
Just saw some of the airlines under pressure here, guys. Interesting headline on United. Just popping in here, I guess it was earlier this morning, but United Airlines, they're going to buy 15 Boom Overture airlines, which looks like that, supersonic jet. So $200 million a pop, guys, for these things. That's about $3 billion total by 2025. So get ready if you're a UAL fan to, yeah, that's the old, I guess, that's the old British version of the supersonic jets. But yeah, they're going to buy 15 initially, option to buy 25 more of these jets. So get ready to fly supersonic with UAL.
Does it say who produces those there, Brenda? I don't know if that's
it's called Boom Overture Airlines.
Oh, okay. Okay,
I mean,
so-
if it's supersonic, I would think Spirit would be supplying parts at least for building something like that. But I mean, I can remember the Concorde, and there was the Concorde, and then like Russia had one. Maybe you know, Valeria. But yeah, I guess we're getting back into that game, of course. I never flew on a Concorde, and how it went out of. It's a sad story how they went out because there was a horrible crash there. As I'm saying all of this, did I get it? There we go. AMC does bounce off that 51 area, that VWAP, so it's going to go back into that same pattern from before. Now, I looked to see if this was going to be a bigger outsized move to the downside here before jumping in. It didn't. It bounces in front of 51, so I try to add here. And then if it gets back into this cluster like 50, 52, 50, 53, then I would take some more shares out, hopefully rinse and repeat. Still try to hang on to this 55 area range. Obviously, the 53 breakout was a muted success, only giving you 50 pennies. If it gives you a buck, that's a much cleaner move. That's a much stronger move. When the offer evaporates a full dollar, you kind of get an idea of how strong the stock is going to be overall, guys. So just want to get my order out in front of that 52.50 range. And then if this is coming down here, you know that Workhorse is going to be doing this, turning right back around. Now it's trying to hold a higher low off of 12.95. So you put a 13 stop in there, and that's not going to be a reasonable one to have. You're either giving it a couple of extra cents and you want to hold that higher low, or you give it right down to that 12.80. That's what it's all about, guys. I mean, you can't really take this trade here unless you're willing to give it back to one of those two levels, guys. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And whoops, SENS, which the last I checked, I mean, you gotta be kidding me. I get this wick right here, and I'm like, oh, 265 fills. Okay, we're back, we're good. It's about to drop down to 250, and it bounces back to the upside to that 70 range. So when it bounces off VWAP in this spot, when I'm taking it the second time through, I do not average in here. I'm not taking any more shorts until we get a test of that 75 to 78 area. If it fails off there, I catch it on the way down, but that's a bounce off VWAP. I'm not taking any more short.
All right, guys, there's BlackBerry. We told you that we would switch up our game a little bit. We were waiting at 80 last time. This time we wait at 85. Take the bid. There's a dime piece for you right there. So good trading, hopefully, for you guys on BlackBerry if you did buy that dip again with me there. Back-to-back jacks. So we're trading like Vladdy Guerrero here today. If you guys are an MLB fan, we'll hit some home runs. And people have been asking about the troll. So here's the troll today. This one right there. Some nice Blue Jay memorabilia coming through. You ever seen a troll before, Valeria? Not in Russia, huh? There we go. So nice little troll. They don't have these, really? Oh, but you have never seen a troll? Like these kind of guys?
I think last year you brought it already.
Yeah, I did bring this one time, but okay, that's the Blue Jays troll, and it's working today, and we're not trolling the markets because right now another big win for us on BlackBerry, another big win, not big, but buy out right there on AMC, so another one long there. This stop got triggered again, so like Neil, I guess I made a keystroke there, but 51.64 out there, 52.40, so 80 cents. We'll take it for now. And again, it's because we're watching BlackBerry. So there's another bid downside here, just trying to crush this name. Let's see if we get back to VWAP there, 15.15. We'll see if we can get to that level. We'll wait for it.
Yeah, and look, obviously we just talked about that bounce off VWAP, and I said I would take some shares out in front of 52.50. We got 44s there, so you want to rinse and repeat this action. But if it goes halfway to that move, and it's never tested 53.50. That's a dark pool wick. It did not go there. I was watching the stock the whole time. If this is a more shallow bounce and you retest this 51 area in VWAP, I'm letting it break through and then retest 50 even. So each time I do this, I'm giving it a little bit more room to the downside before I actually get any more shares. Workhorse does give at least a little bit of a bounce so far. I just talked about you have to give to that 95 or that 80. It bounced off the 95. That's where I try to get more shares in on the north side of that. So Workhorse and AMC to that long side of the trade. And I'm not ignoring you, ADMP. It's just when a penny stock dies, you're kind of happy that you took some shares out. When we got to 90, I'm like, I got to take some out at 90. Yeah, there's no possible way. Look at the volume here on this thing, whatever you want to call it. If it tries to grind back up to a buck, it's at 98 cents. This is on absolutely no volume, so I'm gonna reload. Now I was short at 107, 105 to 110, but this would be more short in front of a buck here. So I'm gonna get back into this one if I can. A few more shares here because whatever, it's testing $1 and it's moving up on no volume. If this was a big volume spike coming back in like it's happened to me on Sundial, I would be staying away from it till it broke. That's not the case, so I will jump into more shares.
There we go, guys. Yeah, you guys are right here, guys. Trolls, I guess they're called treasure trolls.
Yes.
Hey, guys, thank you so much for lighting this up. Like, that's why, not only am I trying to bring the fire to you guys trading wise, but also trying to bring some entertainment to your lives, right? We can't just sit here and talk all about that, right? So yeah, we'll see. Compare my performance with and without Troll. Troll's only here today right now. So we'll keep Troll here and he'll keep looking. Yeah, you're investing in Troll. Good idea there. You brought it already. Yeah, Valeria just owns me right there on that one. So lucky Troll doll. Thank you so much, guys. And again, that's what that's what I'm here for, to be honest with you. Give you guys the heat and give you guys the entertainment. So, hey, it's Troll time, baby. Let's see where we go. BlackBerry trying to go as well. Brendo at the big screen.
Hey guys, currency time. Let's have a look at how money markets are doing so far today. Euro 0.3 to the upside. You can see most of these in positive territory. British pound 0.5% to the upside. The Canadian dollar was about 0.2 early on. It has come back in a bit. We got the jobs report in this country as well this morning. Was not good or not as good as expected. I guess I should say. So this is the US dollar, DXY. We looked at this yesterday. Remember, made a big move back to the upside. We're giving all of that back pretty much. Right back to 90 on the DXY index there. So a lot of these, as I mentioned, in positive territory. Once again, reversing declines from yesterday. You can see Australia and New Zealand, big moves higher, both this was about 1% early on. It's come back a little bit. Turkey to the downside. You can see, yeah, crypto's negative today, but was a little bit worse early on. We did get back towards 35 at one point for Bitcoin, but 36,700 right now after Elon is breaking up with something, I guess, guys.
Well, I mean, he hinted. We know what he's saying. We know what he's saying there. I don't know if he's breaking up. People have asked to hear, is it too late for something like an LEDS? Look at this. It's almost a double up since it had that breakout in the morning. The volume is starting to taper off a little bit. It's holding up a little bit, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that the volume is dying. It's actually not too bad. It's at 31 million. It's still churning through. But this reversal off of 29. If you're short-term scalp trading, I think you can maybe look for a chance of dipping to 23.50, go long in front of that. But in terms of like a bigger hold, I don't see it when you have that big of an outsized move. Now, if this flushes through 23.50 and then makes a hold of this 20 to 21 area, then it would set up for like a bigger afternoon style breakout. But you almost need some air to come out of it first, which hasn't really happened. If it just wants to barcode off the top, it would have to do that for a long period of time here, and then maybe it becomes like a 2:30 power hour type of play there, guys. So I also just said, I mean, I'm going to get shallow. Like, think about buying the dips a little bit lower on AMC as it grinds like this, and if it breaks at 51, you got to think about it a little bit lower, guys. It is just barcoding as well, but look at the nice little hold off of 50, 51, and VWAP. This is what we're looking to see here, guys. It's a little bit more bullish, and by a little bit, I mean a heck of a lot more bullish than what you're seeing in Workhorse off of this bottom, where it's still consolidating, but they both have a chance to go. The entire space of these, I guess, squeeze stocks showing weakness all morning long, but it is worth noting at the leader of the pack, AMC, holding above that VWAP, and it looks pretty nice. There is one other name that I'm not really ignoring, C3AI, but I'm sort of trying to pick my spot here. I said if it broke that 65, 64.40 was the area I wanted. It's grinding off here. I don't want this breakout trade. I took this setup in Workhorse. I actually want this one to break 65 and then hold 64.50, 64.40, and then you catch it back on the upside. I need to see this get shaken out a little bit more before I become bullish on C3AI.
Okay, guys, and coming up on Monday, for you members only, guys, it's a Q&A. It's a big one. We love having Arun on, and he's going to be with us on Monday come time for some Q&A with Arun. So if you're interested in that, guys, definitely check that out with us come Monday. And Arun will be here, so you want to ask questions about the futures. I mean, I'm just still trading here and trying to sell this. Futures, not selling anything, but if you're a member for $5, you get to talk to all of us. So that's coming up on Monday, right after the show. Q&A with Mr. Futures himself. Arun will be not in the building, but he'll be, well, maybe he will be. He will definitely be here to answer some questions. So if you are a trader of equity, futures contracts, anything like that, Arun will be here to enjoy and to have that fun with us there on Monday. Just wanted to give everyone an update.
It's important, even if you don't trade futures, like I'll tell you this right now, I mean, like I'm not sitting here saying I trade the futures, but you can learn a heck of a lot about momentum trading by the approach of a futures trader, because a lot of the stocks you guys are watching are going to follow the market. So learn a little bit about that. If you have questions, like we said, ask Arun. Look, and again, this penny stock is pretty easy. It comes up to $1. I gave you the reasons why. Always have volume as an indicator and VWAP. My charts are pretty clean, but volume is always important. You want to see whether these moves actually have any volume with them. In this particular case, that entire bounce up 10% in VWAP had none. It gets sold off what was previous resistance. And then also VWAP here, it gets sold off at that cluster. I shorted again at that 98 to make my average price 99s, and then immediately you're getting out for like a 2.5, 3 cent win. We got bids all the way, and we're gonna get bids all the way out into 90 cents. That's why you'll see volume indicator on just about everybody's charts if they're a day trader. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think I've ever seen a trader on our floor at least not have volume indicator there, and that's one of the things you want to use it for, especially at this time of day.
Yeah, exactly. I actually just started putting volume on mine, so I'm guilty of that. But yeah, a big time indicator there. You got to use volume, guys. We have a couple videos coming out too on simple indicators and what we use, including VWAP, some moving averages, and then of course volume down there on the downside as well. So it'll be another positive day for us as we get ready to wrap up, man. AMD, a nice move today, up 1 and a bit %. But I mean, again, I'm going to say a nice move because it is a nice move, but still pretty weak, man. We were expecting AMD to be a little higher than the NASDAQ, up 1.4%, but AMD trying to battle back. That's a nice move to the top side there today. So I like AMD. I like NVIDIA if you're going to try to hold anything. But other than that, man, Naked Brands down 10%, SNDL down 8%, and then our AMC, just to give you guys another look before we get out of here, 52 right now. So again, just kind of doing nothing. Just wait. We've had so far 27 trades on it. Not bad. But yeah, AMC, sorry, right now looking for a break, I guess, of 53.50. But even if it breaks there, guys, I don't expect the moon today. We'll see options expiration generally in the afternoon. So watch out to see. This might have a late day move, AMC, depending on what those options tell us. So we'll wait to see there. But guys, been a big show. Super happy. And the troll lives on.
Yes, sir. And that LEDS, by the way, that is absolutely barcoding. So like we said, I think this one might be done at least until the afternoon. But don't forget, we'll be right back for that anyways. If the LEDS moves, we're going to have it in the afternoon, especially if it makes that move below VWAP. I'm going to want to catch that one on a possible rebound play. 3:15 to 4. We'll be right back for you guys for Power Hour, the fastest 45 minutes anyways, in the whole of YouTube, as we like to say it, guys. You know, there's one more thing that we try to do before we get out of here for the day. And it is the National Day from Ms. V. I wish it was Timbits because I could use a couple more of those.
Hey guys, this week has flown by so quick. Thank you very much for being with us. Welcome all the new subscribers and all the new members. Guys, we love you and appreciate your support a lot. Well, we'll see you at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And by the way, guys, we need just 300 more likes to get 2,000 of them. So make sure that your thumb up, yes, turned up. Happy National Cheese Day, everyone.
Apparently it is National Timber Day. Thank you, Rob. There's like 2 chocolate ones, and I love these plain ones. They're pretty good too. National Cheese Day, I don't know, whatever. I mean, it's actually a pretty good dessert. Have it with some port after dinner, but it's got to be something a little bit harder for me to get into it too much. And I hate melted cheese. I'm probably the only place melted cheese has is at the perfect temperature on a grilled cheese or on a pizza. Otherwise, I can't stand the stuff. Or in the perfect mac and cheese, I suppose. But you guys, National Cheese Day? Really?
Yeah, I mean, National Cheese Day is a pretty big one, that's for sure. Yeah, I think it's big, especially nacho cheese. If you're getting ready to watch any sporting events, grab some nachos. I cannot wait until we're able to once again, Brendan, go back to a Jays game, and then we'll take a bunch of pictures, and we will troll the Jays. Okay, guys, so we'll troll the Jays. We can go to Buffalo to watch the games now, and then we got to quarantine for 2 weeks.
They'll be back, man.
It's great. Oh, yeah, I think they'll be back probably in August, so hopefully we'll be able to go to some Jays games. Trade live from the Jays games. That might be fun.
I think it would be a heck of a lot of fun. What would be really cool is if our ticket rep would actually let us know when they're going to be coming back. I would love to see an update on that one. Anyways, I'm big
sure
Jays
they
fan.
have no idea, Neil.
I know they have no idea, but their communication is actually pretty poor for people that give them their money year in, year out. For the entire team down the line, do not forget, we're back at 3:15 because it's going to be a wild one to end this fantastic week. For Miss V, for Brendan Wickens, myself, Neil Roberts, and Sean Katina, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you next week, but at the close too, guys. Come back.
Bye, guys.